2, 1. A woman's heart is a deep ocean of secrets. I'm Adam from Your Movie Sucks. This is Sardonicast. Wow. That wasn't a quote. That was just my opinion, actually.
Dude.
I know, you talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm Alex from IHG. Draw me like one of your normie masterpieces.
Yes!
Oh, come on. I was going to say that.
Yes.
God damn it.
Incredible.
I'm surprised you didn't do that one, so I'm happy I didn't have to improvise one on the spot.
Okay.
You're learning. You're coming up with some bangers here.
All right, well, I'm last in the list, so I got to do the lame. I'm king of the world. Fuck you guys, whatever.
That's not... He didn't say, fuck you guys, whatever, when he did that, but that's an interesting spin.
He was thinking it.
He did in my version.
He was pretty close to his buddy right there when they were up on the Titanic railing. You know, I'm king of the... That was like a romantic moment. They were like...
It was. Yeah, it was kind of more romantic in that version compared to the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before the woman showed up and the movie got woke.
Yeah.
It got so woke when she showed up.
Go woke, go broke.
Mm-hmm.
And spoilers, she saved him at a point. That's woke.
Does she?
James Cameron, man.
What the frick? He would have... Well, yeah, we'll talk about that when we talk about the movie.
Yeah.
First, we're going to talk about another movie.
Spoilers.
I did say spoilers. We're going to talk about another movie called We Are Pawns, directed by one of the whitest kids.
We Are Pawns.
We are pawns.
Weapons. Directed by one of the whitest kids that you may know. Zach Kreger?
Snyder.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so this is the follow-up, I guess we could call it. His second...
I mean, it is the follow-up. That's literally what it is.
Is this his second feature-length film that he made? No, he directed Miss March. What the fuck? I didn't realize he directed that.
Yeah.
So what, third?
Yeah, weird. So, Miss March in 2009, the Civil War on Drugs in 2011, and then, yeah, like, fucking just Barbarian out of nowhere in 2022, which is a very interesting shift. And that's a movie that, like, I'm glad was successful, even though I didn't vibe with it throughout the entire thing. It's something that I respect a lot more than I, like, actively enjoyed.
Yeah, you can see potential in it. Yeah.
Not just potential, but like it's unique.
Did you enjoy Barbarian, Alex?
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was very great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something that's unique, and I love when I see opportunities for there to be creative decisions behind like the marketing, right? And like how things are revealed in the film. I like when there's a conversation between people who make movies, who make the art, and people who, you know, do the advertising and distributing and, you know, the rights and all that. I like when there's an actual productive conversation between those parties about why it's important to reveal information in the way that they do. Because so many fucking movies get just absolutely destroyed and spoiled through the marketing, and it's so frustrating. But Barbarian is one where it's like, no, yeah, we're keeping this part a secret, and it's so much better than it is. It's a way better movie when you don't know what it's going for until you're watching it.
Yeah, Weapons did a similar thing,
Weapons
right?
did the same thing.
Yeah.
Weapons did the exact same thing.
Yeah, the trailers were great.
Yeah.
There's all those frames for the thumbnails of those wide eyes, and it's like crazy, eye-catching stuff.
Yeah, so another horror film from Zach Kreger, where we get a very interesting, unique concept, and also great marketing that doesn't spoil everything, where you can watch the trailer and be like, okay, I'm intrigued. What is this? I would say the marketing was even better with Weapons in the sense that, like, the premise of it is just so uniquely enticing. You want to know the answer to this mystery. Like, why did the kids go? Right? Everybody wants to know that.
Yeah, and I was scared about for like maybe 75% of the movie. I was like, oh my god, how are they going to pay this off? Because I'm enjoying this so much. I don't know how they can possibly make this like work and come together. But I think it did in totality. We won't talk about spoilers yet, but really interesting narrative structure to it. I'll kind of leave it at that with that for now. But I was scared too, like feeling a range of emotions. You know, it's like not just horror, but it's kind of self-aware, comedic, and it would just weave between them in a really kind of organic way that it never broke for me. Because like I talk about like the Babadook and films like that, where they or Longlegs recently, where we'll have a really interesting premise, or the first third or so will be really intriguing, but they'll just reach a point where everything snaps, and I just don't really buy into the world anymore. Or it just can't maintain a certain level of horror because they've got to answer questions at some point. Yeah, and it's like such a delicate balance of what is scary to you, as far as what do they answer, how do they answer it, what tone do they bring with that? Are they going to change the tone? Are they going to play with it? And I feel like this was really clever in the way it kind of edges you along for most of the movie.
Yeah, that's a problem that a lot of horror films fall into, is that what the human brain imagines is often more scary than what you could show. And so if there's horror films that exist where they're teasing you for the first third and slowly, like, ooh, what is this? We don't know what it is that's scary yet. And, it's leaving it up to your imagination. Then in the Babadook, it's like, oh, it's a hipster in a top hat. Wow, that's
And then it starts being scary.
It's really not as scary as that fucking illustration that they showed at the beginning. Like, fuck, what a letdown. The rejected, the deleted scene of the reveal of the creature in Bird Box. Like, that's a similar thing. What was your other example? You said Babadook and one other movie?
Oh, Longlegs recently. For me, did that.
Yeah.
There was an exact moment where I was like, I don't really buy into this anymore. This like isn't really coming together for me. It was almost like the complete inverse of this to me.
Yeah. This one knew what it was more than Longlegs did. That's for sure.
So, do you guys fall under the category of feeling like the reveal was satisfying? Like do you feel like the big reveal of what's going on was a good one?
Well, I guess let's get into spoilers in 1 minute.
Okay, yeah.
I thought it was very well. Let's just talk about a couple things before we get there.
Yeah.
I thought it was very well shot.
Yeah.
Very well acted. The structure was really intriguing. The mystery is very fun to watch unravel over the course of the film. Some dumb jump scares that I thought were not effective and stupid, but not a whole lot, I guess. There were like 2, still irritating. Yeah, I love the way it's shot too. Like a great variety of like different angles and distances, lenses, the way things are framed. I thought the color grading worked really well for it. But there's a whole bunch of non-spoiler stuff.
And great like timing with the scares too. Where those jump scares even kind of work for me. 'Cause I can be picky with that too. But I was just finding it so surreal, like the things it was showing and the just central mystery aspect being so strong. I was kind of like what? How are they going to explain what they're doing to me as an audience member right now? And I think they build on it and make it work.
Good characters too. I enjoyed the characters. Everybody was fun.
They didn't feel like they were in a horror movie. They just felt like they were in a movie. And
exactly.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Horrible stuff seemed to be happening to them. Yeah. I mean, Julia Garner's character I was so interested in her, and I'm glad that her character opened the movie, because it's like she could be like this perfect victim character, with all the mob attacking her. But the movie really dives into like, no, she's kind of flawed and kind of a shitty person. And this whole movie's about shitty people who make bad decisions at every turn. And that was really refreshing.
She hugs the kids sometimes, and so she deserves it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I feel like the movie is hitting a weird dialogue online, in that people are claiming it's not like doesn't have anything to say, or those who are saying like, oh, what it's saying is very clear or too clear, and it's like I don't know. I feel like it's kind of torn in between there, and that has a lot to do with how the movie like unravels and reveals itself. I was not totally sold by the reveal, and I was like locked in the first half, just like you were, Alex. I was like so locked into these characters. I love the way it builds up with the vignettes. It's not linear. It's exciting and weird, and like, how are they going to answer this mystery? How are they going to dive into this? And there's one dream sequence, which we'll talk about in spoilers, that sold me on the movie. I was like, yes, I love where this is going. I like it felt Lynchian and like metaphorical and bizarre. And then the second half of the movie felt like all of that being condensed into a neat little, like being tied into a bow, you know? I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Oh, you wish it was less direct. Yeah, that's an interesting way to think about it. Let's do spoiler sections. I think it's fine to do spoilers now. So spoilers, okay, everybody. We all liked it. We liked the film.
Yes, good movie.
Spoilers. Yeah, so I think you're talking about like the gun thing over the house.
The gun, the weapon in weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that scene.
Yeah. It would have been. I agree that I think that I probably would have liked this even more if it were a bit more like metaphorical throughout and not as clearly answered for like what was happening, maybe. But maybe there's things to like dig deeper into in terms of like subtext. Like, I don't know, I've only seen it once.
Yeah.
But that's a reasonable thing to say.
Yeah, I agree that it wraps up quite quickly towards the end, but I didn't necessarily mind that. I feel like the payoff, well, I guess we're in spoilers, right, with the kids smashing through all the windows and tearing the witch apart alive was it was like a bold genre switch kind of moment. Like they've got like neighbors staring into the camera basically like, huh? It's like a funny sequence, and I could understand why that wouldn't work in a similar way that well, actually, I can't really say it if I don't want to spoil the movie. Another horror movie from this summer was controversial in line with certain people, but it worked for me. It felt like it solved that issue I'm getting at, like the Babadook problem, where they have to address it when you're dealing with supernatural things in such a believable universe. You kind of have to take a big swing to sell it, and I feel like the comedy horror kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge, self-awareness thing was quite a good angle to go with it, because it was still surreal and strange and was well written enough and well presented, and you like all these characters and it's unique and creative enough where it made that big swing land for me.
Yeah, I think it was less shocking for me just knowing who directed it and knowing he not only has a comedy background, but you know, his previous works directing. But at the same time, I feel like I probably would have enjoyed that kind of genre switching regardless. I think that this is the type of movie where, you know, it does have serious elements to it, and I am invested in what's happening narratively, but it's not like that type of genre shift would feel like a betrayal to me, because much of the film, even before that point, you know, the Gladys as a character alone before that moment is still very like heightened, goofy sort of thing. You know, it's like it's exaggerative. It's a little extra. And then, you know, characters like the drug addict guy living in a tent, like he brings a lot of comedic energy to the film, everything that happens with his character. And then also, you know, moments throughout the film where the soundtrack is complementing the tone in a way that's a bit more rhythmic and energetic, that's not really trying to be like, ooh, this is scary, but ooh, this is fun, right? And with that fun tone in there, it balanced out everything well enough that I wasn't like, ugh, I can't believe you wanted to be funny here. You know, it was like, okay, this is fun. You know, like I don't know what they could have done for like a super serious ending that would have had me satisfied if without doing something like fucking crazy, like, I don't know, like Hereditary or something, which I didn't want this movie to be Hereditary.
No. No, I wouldn't have bought it in the same way. It's so much more overbearing, like a Hereditary. There is something a bit looser about this. It's quite subtle. You know, there's not really a subtlety to Hereditary with the screaming. It's like loud. There's all the sad music and all these just extreme scenes happening all the time. Like you mentioned, the score, I thought it was like very low key. The way they used it, it was almost just to add to the atmosphere more than to overbear with the like world it's trying to create, and just like the guessing game throughout the narrative of trying to figure out like, is this supernatural? Like, And you get these little clues. You get the parasite scene with the teacher talking about, I can't remember what specific parasite, or the cordyceps shout out for Wong and his husband or boyfriend before they eat the hot dogs, which was like good foreshadowing in hindsight. Like, oh, it's about like these things that control or, you know, manipulate others, like the witch is doing, and the witch painting that Brolin did to the car. So there are these like seeds throughout the movie that, I don't know. I just feel like it'll be even better on a second watch with all this stuff. Like, oh, that was a cool like little laying down of a trap there. Yeah, it's really cool.
On the whiteboard in the classroom on the day that the kids disappeared, they were learning about parasites.
Yeah, exactly.
Bong Joon-ho. No, I think, I mean, for a movie about kids who vanish and a town grieving, it's super light on its feet and incredibly funny. Like, I didn't expect that. I think most filmmakers with this material would have made it like a brutal, like despairing drama.
Yeah.
Elevated horror. I mean, elevated horror is such a nebulous term. I don't even know what that means anymore. But, you know, like, really like dealing with grief. And this movie kind of brushes on that. It's really more about like how people cope in the wake of this, and who gets affected most. And I mean, to me, like this, there's a line after Wong basically attacks Julia Garner's character, where Josh Brolin is like, it was like he was a heat-seeking missile aimed like a weapon shooting at you. And for me, even before the reveal of the witch or anything, I was like, oh, the kids are the weapons. Someone's going to use them like weapons to attack someone, you know. And then, you know, later on, thinking about the movie, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I think the movie is generally about how our culture weaponizes children to attack others. And what is the safety of children, what's best for the children, simply in order to destroy one another. And without really thinking of the kids genuinely. And that's a very deep message. There's so many layers in this movie. And I feel like what I loved about the ending, where the movie really like sold me again, was it felt like a catharsis, because you could imagine like in the real world, there's no witch who just picked up the kids, took them away, and then they have their vengeance. You know, it's like a cathartic moment of like, what if we can manifest this evil into just a person? And that's the fantasy and the wonder of seeing a movie like this, where you can, it's like, you know, Tarantino having them shoot Hitler at the end of the movie. You know, it's like, this isn't reality, but it feels good to watch these kids, you know.
If you could manifest Hitler into one person.
No, but that's what makes the dream sequence you were referencing earlier so interesting. And I'm curious to hear everyone's thoughts on, I assume you're getting at Josh Brolin's gun dream with the 217 like digital clock on it.
Yeah.
And what that might mean, because it's never specifically explained.
It reminded me of Baby Invasion.
No. Don't mention them in the same sentence.
Jesus.
No, I felt like just seeing that image without any explanation or commentary around it, it just immediately made me think of like school shootings with the obvious framing of everything. And the fact that that's where your mind goes.
And that's all it had to do.
Exactly, yeah. Like, you don't need to explain anything or indulge it. Like, the fact your mind just goes there by default is kind of a horror in and of itself.
And it's not just about school shootings. Like, it can be about, it can be about tons of other things. That's what's great, I think, and why this is in some ways a step up from Barbarian, even though I personally like Barbarian more. I think it is less of like, this is what it's about. You know, this is the theme, this is the message, this is the metaphor. Enjoy. You know, it's like, okay, here's some ideas, here's some images. This is, you know, take what you will. And I think that's what is nice about this movie.
Yeah, I liked this more than Barbarian, personally.
Okay.
I feel like everything I was trying to do worked better. Barbarian, the Barbarian balancing all of those different tones, it was like some of those tones worked way better than others.
Yeah, I agree.
I felt a little, you know, significant chunks of the movie were lacking for me, but yeah, this movie, not all that much was really bothersome. You know, everything felt pretty well captured for what it was going for.
I wish it just had a little more room to breathe and be a little less, I don't know if the right word is commercial. I mean, I feel like I wish it just kind of dwelled in the nuances and didn't, like, I really lost interest once the reveal of like, okay, it's an evil witch. And to me, like, that's not super interesting. I mean, after the fact, once I've digested the movie and gone, okay, this movie is what it is, I can appreciate what it's doing. But in the moment, I was like, oh. And then it goes through like the final story of Alex seeing the process of him, taking care of his parents and feeding them soup. And of course, the whole time I'm just going like, what about the poop? You're not going to show the kid changing their adult diapers, or are you?
It's witchcraft.
Yeah, whatever. You still got to feed them soup.
They recycle their poop internally through reverse absorption through the colon.
Okay, well, I don't understand how witchcraft works clearly, but I mean, that stuff isn't important. But it's like the fact that it goes into the logistics and the details of it. I was kind of like, no, I get it. Like, it's the witch. She took them. Blah blah. Like, it just went on a little long for me, and I was like a little less interested in what the movie was doing there. But again, I need to see it again because I feel like this is even from the review I did a few days ago on my second channel, I was like, kind of like, it's fine. It did things pretty well, but I didn't love it. But now, just talking about it again with you guys, I'm feeling like, man, there's a lot there. Like, I don't know. It's growing on me.
Mm-hmm. It almost demands a second watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like wanting to rewatch it while on my first watch.
Do you feel like them using a witch and not only like having the witch character, but even just like spelling it out on someone's vehicle, like that could be alluding to the idea of people doing witch hunts, with the idea you were talking about earlier about how children are like weaponized to against other people during tragedies,
Well, yeah, and I mean, especially like teachers with the all the trans panic and how people are attacking teachers for even mentioning the word gay in classroom. Like, there's so much you can draw from here beyond school shooting, beyond, I feel like it's just very relevant, but it's not on the nose. It's not trying to like tell you exactly what the idea is. It leaves things up to interpretation. I like that.
Yeah. I could watch this again for sure. You know what's fucking sad? There ain't no physical release for Barbarian.
Yeah, I know, that's fucked up.
There ain't no Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Comment below if you would buy a Barbarian Blu-ray.
A bootleg version that we're selling.
No, thumbs up other people's comments.
Camera it.
No, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, what you don't understand, well, maybe some of you people understand. There are industry people that watch these types of videos and podcasts, and they look at the comments section, and they have the emails of other people who might be able to release a Blu-ray if they can prove that there's public interest great enough to justify releasing that, right? So even if you do say something like, hey, leave a comment if you would buy this, that can be a useful, helpful thing, right?
That's true. I think the Sardonicast community has a direct connection to Steven Spielberg. I think Steven Spielberg watches this, and he's going to say something.
Okay, well, there's two people involved in this movie that either I know watch my videos or at least follow me on Twitter. So I feel like there are connections there.
Josh Brolin.
Is that a New Line thing? Like, why?
What?
Like, why are they not releasing Blu-rays?
Well, Barbarian was Fox, which is Disney, right?
Oh, okay.
So that's why.
Yeah.
So Weapons might get a physical release.
Oh, I see.
Does that mean the Barbarian monster is going to be in Doomsday? Because it's Disney now.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so Weapons will probably get a physical release, but so Barbarian's the one we need to worry about because it's fucking Searchlight, right? I'm just gonna fact check this.
I'm more upset that there's no Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah,
Blu-ray.
It was 20th Century. It was Disney. Sorry, what were you saying?
There's no Killers of the Flower Moon Blu-ray. I'm upset about that.
You just got to get used to it now. Like, that's just the new status quo, I guess.
No, I refuse. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm never going to get used to it. Everyone should yell. I mean, Adam's right. Everyone should get mad at people and comment because We can't let them get away with this.
No, there's a Killers of the Flower Moon. There's a Killers of the Flower Moon 4K Blu-ray, but it's like an import, and I think it's from like Italy or something. But they're region. I think 4K Blu-rays are region free. Wait, this one's just an actual Blu-ray. It's not even a 4K, so you need a region free Blu-ray player, which I do have.
I have one of those. Haha, yeah. I don't know why I have one. It's it's overkill, but I'm glad I have it.
No, it's not. It's an important thing if you care about physical media and the movies you watch aren't just a Marvel movie, then you might want one from a different region.
I just don't have any.
Apple is refusing to release Killers of the Flower Moon.
Come on, Tim Cook.
More like Tim Cook.
Yeah.
Damn.
Got him.
Dude, he's like just donating money to Trump shit. And
Is he really?
Oh.
yeah, he is. He has been for a while.
Wow.
Are you going to cancel your Apple Music subscription now?
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm going Tidal now because Spotify is pissing me off too. So I'm seeing what Tidal's like. It sounds better on good speakers.
I've heard it's better.
It sounds way better on good speakers.
And yeah, like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard just took all their music off, or their recent like 5 years off Spotify now.
Yeah, Joanna Newsom hasn't been on Spotify since fucking a decade ago. But yeah, now a bunch of other artists are jumping ship. So yeah, I'm going Tidal. I imported my playlist, and the only things that are missing are like a couple Japanese artists, like Maximum the Hormone and the Houseu soundtrack. But hopefully those get imported over at some point. And hopefully they add a feature where I can use the app to play music that's not on their library, because that's one good thing I enjoyed about Spotify is like playing local files from your phone or whatever. So they need to add that. Tidal, are you listening? Comment below if you would get a Tidal subscription if they added the ability to play local files from your device. Now, I don't know if anybody from Tidal watches this, but
I'm so lost right now.
Start a movement. All right, I would give Weapons a high 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Enjoyed it more than Barbarian. I will watch it again. It might be on my 2025 list. I might give it an 8 next time. I don't know. I enjoyed it quite a lot.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty much the exact same place.
You have to get past some logic shit, but you know.
Yeah. No, it was creative enough for that kind of stuff and the believability of it to sell and work for me. Thought it was also really cool. It was made for $38 million. That's what I'm trying to get at with these modest budgets, and they're getting a great return already. It's been out like one weekend. It's already like doubled its budget with that clever marketing, with just the nature of how interesting that hook is of wanting to get you in. I felt like it paid off. I thought it has a lot of personality. I can't wait to see what he does next, which is, I guess, this Resident Evil movie.
Resident Evil, yeah.
Interesting, but like, I don't know. Barbarian was cool. Weapons were cool. The genre balancing stuff, I feel like he could make work with like the goofy to the camp against the genuine fearful stuff, because Resident Evil, the game 2 and 4, has like moments that are really freaky, like genuinely scary stuff that I think could work if he puts the level of detail that he put into Weapons.
I think he could do Resident Evil. There's nothing about his style that makes me think that he wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, because they've all just been camp, like hyper stupid, dumb, like they deserve some horror at this point.
He does gore well, and he does camp well. So there you go. And we should be glad that, you know, Paul W.S. Anderson doesn't have like a Snyder-like fan base, so people won't even give a shit.
I don't know. I've seen some shooters for Paul W.S. Anderson.
Oh.
They're out there.
All right.
Anyways, I give Weapons a 7 out of 10 currently.
7s all round.
Yeah. Beautiful.
You guys copied me.
I did,
Oops.
yeah.
Okay. War of the Worlds, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
This came out of nowhere.
Masterpiece.
Why did they release this?
Because it was funny.
Who asked for this?
People were watching it.
Somebody working at Amazon was like, dude, this would be so funny if we just like release this.
Because, you know, they've been holding on to it for like 5 years.
Yeah, it was a COVID movie.
Yeah. So I was trying to figure out like what is the motivation? Did they think it would just get meme marketing the way it has because of just how comically bad it is, or is it? I saw the War of the Worlds like book, I guess, has entered public domain on the first of this year. So I don't know if that was something to do with it. If they could like save money somehow with licensing, I don't know. But it doesn't make sense to me. I really want to know the background story of like how much people were paid for this, like how much money was spent on it, because I couldn't find a budget anywhere. So like it's like a crazy film. It's just Amazon propaganda. Like
no more than $4.
Yeah, it's like those phone apps that like generate effects.
The whole thing was an Amazon ad anyway. It's like, did you even spend money?
Like the day's literally saved by an Amazon driver. Like he's like the hero with this drone tech.
Yeah. It's a very funny movie.
I mean, people are watching it. It was number 4 in the US last I checked.
For all movies or Amazon movies?
Amazon. Just on Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon is a fucking movie service, doesn't have a lot of shit though, you know? It's got like a couple TV shows that people watch, couple Oscar movies. Then what? What do you have?
You don't like Reacher? You aren't a fan of Reacher?
They got like that Lord of the Rings show.
Ugh.
Yeah, Rings of... Well, yeah. You watched that, Adam.
I've watched season 1 and I'll keep going.
You love Rings of Power.
I didn't even start season 2.
Yeah, well, I gotta make content out of torturing one of my good friends. so I gotta return to it. Yeah, this movie, I can't remember the last time I've laughed so much at a movie. Like this is more than Madam Web for me.
Oh yeah, way more.
I laughed more at this movie than Madam Web.
Yeah, for sure.
That was like the last notable one.
Yeah, it's the funniest bad movie I've seen in a while. You know, just 90 minutes of perfect comedy.
Yeah.
It's just like, what were they thinking? Ice Cube and Eva Longoria, just like, it looks like they're just filming on their phone. Like they're on FaceTime.
Yeah.
Just such a strange angle.
Ice Cube and the director of the Cheetos movie.
It was just really enjoyable. Like, it was bad in such like a consistent and fun way, you know, like it was had a pretty good pace. Like things kept happening and escalating, and
oh boy,
there were character conflicts, and you know, it's like it was never like bad because it was like so boring and dull. It was bad because it was stupid. It was just so fun.
Under 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way that the plot moved forward, I mean, it was just like ridiculous plot point after ridiculous plot point. Like the idea that he's just constantly hacking things and that's how things are progressing. You know, first we're going to show how he's like a deadbeat dad hacker and he's invading the privacy of his children through hacking. And then we're going to show how he sees all the threats around because he works for the hacking government thing. And then just the way things move forward is not only fun in a pacing sense, but so consistently ridiculous and easy to make fun of. The editing reminded me of like Xavier Renegade Angel, honestly. Like just with how quippy it was, like like very unnatural. At no point is there any room to breathe. Even in conversations where like you would expect there to be like a quarter of a second between the lines that people say.
Yeah.
But instead it's just like, wait, like as if it's a fucking YouTube poop or like Adult Swim or something.
You saw what I was going to say. Yeah, it felt exactly like a YouTube poop. That clip going around of when his son is like running away from an alien trying to kill him, and it like pauses on a freeze frame of him, starts zooming in, and then they like blast the Inception bois like sound.
Yeah.
It's like the comedic timing is perfect. It's just like YouTube poop, but it sells because they're just all the actors are taking it so seriously. Like the stuff they're saying, the way how seriously Ice Cube is playing it, especially all those clips of him reacting are gold. Every single one of them is awesome. The weird way they're editing it and like repeating stuff, and yeah, it's like what did they think this was? Did they make this in like a couple hours? They must have.
Well, yeah, they probably had him record for probably 2 hours, and they're just like, all right, just right now, your son just admitted that he's a cyber terrorist, and you gotta Just react how you'd react. Yeah.
Like at every couple minutes or whatever, like even when there's not something happening plot wise that's funny, I'm just like, I'm absorbing the movie and what the full piece is. You know, I'm thinking things like, wow, you really just got Ice Cube to act off of no one. like this is an entire movie of Ice Cube acting off of no one, alone in a room, and he's the main character. Like, wow, you really did that. Yeah, it's and also the fact that like so many fucking movies do this, where they'll have a gimmick concept. So this one obviously being everything's going to be on a computer screen, right? It's going to be like searching or unfriended. Gimmick concept, but they don't commit enough to make it feel authentic, right? So a version of this is like, M. Night's The Visit. We're supposed to believe that these are children filming themselves, but it looks like they were shot with fucking red cameras. And then you look at the behind the scenes and you're like, oh, these are red cameras with a huge rig. Why wouldn't you make it more authentic? Just use worse cameras. It'll be a better movie, right? This film has the exact same problem where the entire computer screen is infinite resolution. So I watched this film in 4K, right? And even when it's zoomed in on the screen to the point of it being taking up like 1/50th of the total computer screen size, we're still seeing like perfectly crisp 4K resolution. And because of that, all of the reaction shots of Ice Cube, even though logistically what they're telling us or implying is that the camera angle we see is his webcam, it's such a pristine quality, no matter how small it is on the fucking computer monitor, whatever we're zoomed into, right? Or even just the camera in of itself, regardless of whether or not we're seeing it from the monitor, it's such pristine quality that it never feels like a webcam. So instead we get the result of being like, oh, we're just cutting back to the exact same shot of Ice Cube, the exact same angle. And the film is just so uncreative that we get this one shot that never feels like it's a part of what's happening on the computer screen. So it feels like a cutaway that's independent of that, but just the same angle. So it's this weird feeling that doesn't do it any favors, but makes it really funny.
I'd love to see the script for this.
I really like how he's just locked in there. How, it's just multiple times. He's just like, shoot, I wish I could leave, but they locked me in.
I'm coming to get you. Here I come. Damn it, we're in lockdown. Like, he tried for like a second.
Crazy, awkward way it's filmed, where there's that big, just like, barrier that he has to walk past to try and pretend to open the door.
Yeah.
It's like just such an ugly, like, bad framing. You just can't tell what's going on.
Yeah.
I have a question. How did the drone get inside of the building? When they're delivering the USB at the end, how did it get in?
Through the roof.
Okay.
Didn't that other drone, because his son was like controlling a military drone and like shot a hole in the building or something?
I don't know.
I'm stupid. Of course, that makes total sense.
For that epic action scene,
Yeah.
It just goes off the rails.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. And then they try to like bribe a homeless guy to move the drone.
Yeah. That was fun.
That was great. Yeah. It's like a Mr. Beast episode.
Yeah. It's like a Darman episode.
It was just, and it was full of great lessons. It was a very like a morality tale. Like, don't be a bad father. Don't, spy on your people. Don't do Patriot Act 2.0. Just be normal and buy Amazon, and your family will love you.
Yeah. Don't be a menace while drinking juice in the hood. If Titanic didn't have that fucking crazy ass quote that I did at the beginning, I would have gone with, oh shit, they're in hyper download, which was a fun quote from this. I love the concept already. Like, I watched the trailer for this, which came out not that long ago. I was shocked that this movie was getting released so soon after I saw the trailer, because it was only like 2 weeks or something less. But even in the trailer, they reveal the concept of like, the aliens, they're after our most precious resource, data. Right? I'm like, okay, weird. That doesn't make any sense. This is who made this movie, right? And then you watch it in the context of the film, it makes even less sense. Like, okay, what is data, right? Are these aliens are part
Yeah.
machine? What do they exist on the same operating system, right? Like, are they plugging into USB drives, right? Are they able to access the data? Or are they like NTFS? What is data? Because we're data. DNA is data. Everything's data. It's not just computer shit that's data. Data, it's kind of like an abstract concept in ways. Everything's data. There's nothing that isn't data. Name one thing that isn't data. What are we talking about?
Are you guys telling me you guys don't just munch on some delicious
scene.
data every now and then?
What?
Are you telling me you don't munch on delicious data every now and then? Just yummy, delicious
It's really
data?
fulfilling. Yeah, that's what I asked for at Subway.
I mean, technically I do. Technically everything I munch on is data. So they have, conceptually, these fucking aliens, they go to the secret data centers that are hidden throughout America that the government doesn't want you to know about, and they go, nom 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 nom, this is where the most data is for some reason, and not just like, I don't know, Google or like any one of these companies that hold cloud storage. Like, I think that might hold more data, but okay, we're going to the secret government ones. And then it shows them like, num num num, like sucking out all the data in ways where it's like, okay, wait, the way I understand computer data, you can take data without deleting it. What is the process of copying? You could copy data, right? What about them eating data means that we can't have it? What are they actually eating? Are they eating the physical properties?
They got to eat his Facebook memories.
The physical properties of the storage, the hard drives?
It makes everything make no sense. Because like the irony of the original one is that the aliens are beaten by a virus, you know? So the irony of a big high-tech race being taken down by something so sort of low-key.
Yeah, like a biological virus.
Yeah, exactly. So they thought they were being clever, Black Mirror. Yeah, let's make it these data bugs that feast on files, I guess. They're eating like Word documents or something. I don't know. They show like an SD card, like, these little bugs just munching on it.
Ah, my spreadsheets!
Yeah, they're still using like satellite technology after they explicitly say that the aliens took all the satellites down. Like that's how their invasion began.
Well, I think Adam maybe touched on a political topic here because, yeah, the aliens only return once big evil government is collecting data. They aren't going after any of the Google or Amazon, you know, because it's Amazon government is spying on our shopping carts on Amazon, you know, that's the issue. So, you know, and the evil government guy is like, yeah, I knew about aliens. I knew they would attack as soon as we did it, but look how cool it is. We have everyone's data. It's worth it.
They might as well have filmed like the aliens showing up to like a library and like sucking physical letters off of the pages of books. Like, oh no, now all the books are blank. So like that scene in Eternal Sunshine.
That'd be scary.
They might as well have done that. That would have made just as much sense with how they think about data in this film.
I don't know. You guys don't know how excited I was when I saw that tiny little CGI alien eating at the USB stick. And Evil Longoria is like, whoa, look, do you know what this means? They eat data. Yep.
Our most precious resource.
But, you know, I watched the trailer after watching the movie. It's in the trailer. They literally put it, they're eating data in the trailer.
Exactly.
Like, it's wild.
I like how at the end of the trailer they say the film's tagline, which is, it gets worse. Or is it gets worse, or it's worse than you think?
It's worse than you think.
It's worse than you think. That's even worse. Yeah, it's worse than you think.
Are you guys? Part of me wonders if was this all just a cynical thing? Like they shot this thing and they're kind of like, well, I think it'll be like a so bad it's good. Like let's just advertise it like this, and people are going to have a field day and it'll be fun. Like, do you think that was part of their thinking?
No, I think that they just thought like, they have a bad movie, let's dump it on for free on Amazon, like they do with a billion other bad movies, but there was no way for them to predict that this one would get memed, right? They have other movies that are just as bad as this, if not worse, but just not as funny and not as memeable. I don't think they predicted the memeability of this.
No, that's true.
I think it was an accident.
But it's just, why the timing? Why would they wait 5 years? And why would they not just write it off? Like, they write off so much stuff. Why would they hold on to it for so long? Like, I can't make it make sense.
Does Amazon do that though? Because I know fucking like Warner Brothers has done that, but I don't know if Amazon has traditionally.
Yeah, I don't
done
know. I just the timings of it just don't make sense. Like, they thought this was the time.
I think that there are different business strategies depending on streaming services, right? So David Zaslav, obviously his strategy has been, let's write off movies that, were finished even, and then we save on tax breaks, yada, 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 his whole shtick. Recently, the shareholders, when it was still Warner Brothers Discovery, now they're unmerging in 2026. It's such a fucking mess. Anyway, the shareholders voted. Yeah, I know, it's stupid. The shareholders voted against David Zaslav actually getting his bonus. So it's kind of working against him. Good. And the shareholders are like, okay, this is bullshit. We don't like you. And so now, a lot of dumb shit. Yeah, Warner Brothers and Discovery are going to be two different companies again. What I was getting at is different streaming services have different strategies. And what might be the case is that Amazon's strategy is just to have as large of a content library as possible. So there's no reason they wouldn't want this out if it's something that's basically almost finished. And it's like, okay, this only costs like $1,000 more to touch up and dump, right? Because most of Prime Video is a dump. It's literally a dump. Like,
yeah, and don't really use
most titles on it, nobody's even ever fucking heard of. Right? Fucking to Freedom is on Prime Video. What do you mean? Why would they release War of the World? That To Freedom is where we found that on Prime Video. That's like that's barely a movie.
Yeah, I guess they're casting a wide net, huh?
I bet we could find every single one of that like talking pony, talking cat guys movies on Prime Video. That's just, the whole place is a fucking dump because it's not about the content. It's about tricking you into getting Amazon Prime.
It looks like value. Yeah, and I guess they didn't advertise it. They didn't screen it for critics or anything. It just kind of appeared one day.
Yeah.
Like a weed or something.
It's hilarious. It's great.
A bit of a tangent, but Adam, you mentioned Warner Brothers, and David Zaslav is a big idiot, but they're having like a crazy year this year. I saw something that was like 4 back-to-back movies opening above 40 million. Minecraft, Sinners, F1. I think they distributed F1. Weapons. Not War of the Worlds, but Weapons. So like in all the chaos, somehow, I don't know how, they're having like an incredibly good year for movies, original movies. Anyways, I thought that was interesting.
Because I'd like to look up some more about that. You guys talk about the movie for a second. I'll do some digging.
Well, I think Amazon Prime, first off, is maybe one of the worst user experiences in the universe.
The UI literally and, just searching on it. Yeah, it's terrible. It's practically unusable.
It's designed to trick you into watching things that you have to pay for.
Yeah, I guess they really are just throwing it at the wall, seeing what sticks. And this has kind of worked out in their favor, I guess, where they probably did spend a pittance on it, and now it has this organic meme advertising, like Minecraft style almost, where people are talking about this. There are loads of articles being written about how bad it is and how low its Rotten Tomatoes score is and all this. So, yeah.
It was just kind of the right timing for it, I guess. The world needed it for some reason. Yeah, I'm trying to see if it's still like ranking high on their service because
it's just so ridiculously shareable and clippable,
It's you!
Like, because of that YouTube editing. Yeah, you can make like just shorts out of this whole movie, and it's like perfect for that kind of format and spreading it online.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of good memes to this, actually.
Yeah,
there've already been heaps. They're amazing.
And that's what really counts towards a movie's cultural impact is the memes.
That's not untrue. That is not untrue.
Yeah, kind of.
Think about this.
But whereas like the Minecraft ones kind of annoyed me, these ones were funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a cultural impact is through memes because memes are the culture sharing things, right? Memes are the culture.
Yeah.
right?
And I think Avatar: The Way of Water is very culturally impactful because it had lots of memes. You have to admit that.
I do love that meme of the dude like leaning over.
Yeah, that one.
Close up on his face. It's crazy.
Sorry, what is this?
The guy with the sunglasses.
Yeah, there are a few
You're
actually.
you're gonna have to share this with me. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, I'll send you.
You've never seen the template of the like heavy metal question mark? Yes, it normally is, and it's like the close up on the dude. But I'll send you one on Telegram.
Yeah, send it. Somebody send it somewhere.
I'm sending one right now. We're just sending just 10 minutes of silence as me and Alex
sending me. Guys, this is the part of the podcast where we send each other memes.
Yeah, it's
you
relevant.
just have
I
to
swear.
fucking wait.
Okay, I've never seen that.
You've never seen that
No.
template before?
Okay,
Really?
I just sent it. I just sent one through Discord. This was a big one.
Okay, yeah, you guys are trying to find Avatar memes.
No, that's not true.
No.
There's everywhere.
This was everywhere.
Where'd you find these?
Did you see it?
Yeah, both were everywhere.
Where I see both of them. I've never seen these memes before. Whatever. I mean, we have different algorithms.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, you have a lame algorithm.
We live different lives. I'm not sure I relate to you.
Okay. Well, I'm a normie and I have baby brain syndrome, so I don't know. I admit, I find the Avatar memes funny. Sue me.
Oh, well, it is a normie masterpiece.
Truly.
I guess.
Okay, wait. What else do we have to say about War of the Worlds?
Everybody fucking watch it. It's incredible. I might watch it like again this week.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about when I can watch it again.
You should do an Adam and Pals on it, or it's just
maybe.
perfect for like content and that kind of stuff. The
Yeah.
reactions that it's getting out of people are golden. And I was looking through the director's IMDb. It seems like he mostly did music videos. One for Diddy.
Oh, great.
But
Nice.
also like a bunch of like Eminem and Lana Del Rey and stuff like that, and a bunch of visual effects work too. So I'd love to know a story from him, like if he's listening, like write in and let the secrets out, because there is a story behind this for sure.
Yeah.
You know, he may have just been on set for a day and then it's just all done in the edit. You know, maybe he just had
Yeah,
nothing to do
almost
with any of
definitely.
it after that. Yeah. It's a bizarre situation.
I love it.
I give this a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy 10. I didn't even have to think about it. Number one of the year so far.
I mean, I gave it a 1 out of 10, but
Wow,
it's kind of closer to a 10 than a 0.
that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, damn. First 10 of the year, I think, for me. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. When did David Zaslav start Warner Bros?
When did he create Warner Brothers?
I don't know.
The new company was after the Warner Discovery merger. It was 2021 and 2022. So if you look at the stock price of Warner Bros. Discovery, the highest it was ever was March 19th, 2021. And currently it's about as low as like the 2008 financial crisis.
Nice.
So it looks like if we're going to judge it by their stock, then he's not doing a good job, even if there are some hits in theaters right now. So that could be why they voted against his. Because, yeah, shareholders, that's literally, they want stock go up.
Like, aren't they rebranding HBO Max like back to?
Yeah, they're undoing a lot of
HBO
dumb
or
shit.
something. Which was crazy that they did that to begin with.
And they're gonna keep Warner Bros. And Discovery as separate companies in 2026. They're like undoing everything.
You know, if
God.
David Zaslav gives one battle after another a huge marketing push and turns it into a blockbuster success, I will forgive him for all his crimes. Truly.
Yeah. Who knows how, like, much of a say he has. I mean, like, he has the final say, but like, who knows how involved he is in like deciding which films get which budget. I don't know.
I think he
How
has,
much they trust him.
He
Yeah.
has a good amount of say.
He probably outsources his job to AI and keeps the money.
That's a lot of work. I mean, come on.
Like, legit, how many CEOs do you think just like ask Chat GPT now? Do you think they're actually working?
They've never been working. I mean, that's
Yeah.
they don't need ChatGPT. They have assistants. But yeah, I don't know. Moral of the story: thank you, David Zaslav. Fuck you, Tim Cook. Right, and thank you, Jeff Bezos, for giving us this film, which he personally directed, War of the Worlds 2025.
And thank you, Ice Cube.
CEO entrepreneur, born in 1964, Jeffrey Bezos. Before we start the recommendation, did either of you see any of the other War of the Worlds, like 1950 something and the 2005 Tom Cruise one?
I've seen the 2005 one. I don't think I've seen that older one.
Okay. Yeah, I actually watched both of them before the new one just because I wanted an excuse to. I never saw the 50s one, and the 2005 one was kind of like a nostalgic thing I wanted to revisit. What about you, Jake?
Yeah. I haven't seen the 50s one, but I love Spielberg's War of the Worlds. I saw that at an impressionable age, and I think it's pretty great. Yeah.
And so you haven't seen it since you were younger?
No, I've seen it since then. I think it's really okay. And don't laugh, because this is a real thing. It is a post 9/11 text.
Yeah,
very importantly.
exactly. And that's why I brought it up. Yeah, that's why I brought it up, because it's very egregiously so, I would say.
Oh yeah, it's like Steven Spielberg is like, all right, we're gonna use the imagery of 9/11 in this alien movie, and I think it's very effective. Lindsay Ellis, of course, has a really interesting video about it.
It seemed like propaganda.
Did it?
Yeah, because there's like the whole
sun. What the sun does.
The teenager kid, who's not really a teenager, but in the context of the movie, he is. Like, his whole arc is like, I just want to help people. I got to join the military right now. And like, there's a scene of, you know, the tanks are just happening to go by at that exact moment. He's like, no, Dad, you don't understand. I got to help people. No. You're my son. And then later he's, you know, on the ferry, just like climbs up. Oh, I'm such noble. I'm helping these people. That's all I want to do. And then, you know, the next part, like, Tom Cruise has to decide between like going after Dakota Fanning, who's about to get like kidnapped by random people that don't even know that they're kidnapping her, versus him being Dad, you just got to let go. The country's in trouble. America's in trouble. Like, he doesn't literally say that, but humanity's at stake by the bad guys. I need to help out. Dad, you just got to let go. This is a noble thing. And then the son's all right at the end. It's like, okay, fine. It really seems like a propaganda movie with all the especially with the blatant 9/11 symbolism.
You can definitely see it that way for sure. I mean, it is fascinating. It's a very interesting movie. Yeah, I don't think it's perfect, but it is definitely interesting. And interestingly, this is the press tour where Tom Cruise went nuts.
Yeah.
And
damaged his aura farming.
That was the last film he worked on with Steven Spielberg, because they had a run there, and then they did not work together after that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's funny. There are some things I like about that movie, though. For the like first emergence of the
there's a lot of great stuff.
Alien part, I think, is really interestingly shot. It's like an amazing. It's got like some good scenes in it. It's kind of scatterbrained. Like, even when I was young, when I saw it at the cinema, I found the sun going off the way he does, kind of just to come out of nowhere. But Fanning's amazing in it. Tom Cruise is good in it. There's some good set pieces here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't dislike that movie.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a good kind of like guilty pleasure sort of thing. Dakota Fanning has been consistently great at playing children that never act like children, but, you know.
Isn't it weird? She's really gotten worse at playing children lately. I don't know what the deal is. She used to be so good at it.
Yeah. A lot of interesting stuff with that movie. Titanic!
Okay. Titanic. A film that I can't connect to 9/11, sadly, but I'll try. I will try.
It predicted 9/11.
You could argue that, sure.
Foreshadow it. Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of people compare the Titanic to 9/11.
Do they?
This is true. No, actually, because people think about the fact that like we've commercialized and made like a film, like literally just like Titanic and like a theme park and like all the fucking Ocean Gate Discovery, and like there is a bit of like a weird, commercialization and just this intrigue, this fascination that we have with the Titanic. Sometimes people like to put that into perspective, like what if we did this for a 9/11, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. There's something more sort of like mythical about the Titanic. I feel the irony of its existence, and that it could have been avoided if they just weren't so confident in this ship. There is something just core. It's like an Aesop's fable or something that is even more crazy because it actually happened. So, and that's one of the things I wasn't expecting. I'd seen this film before, maybe in the mid 2000s or something. And I remember certain scenes really rung in my head, but I'd forgotten about the whole obsessive science angle that James Cameron is obsessed with, the going in real submarines and almost using the film as a platform in order to go down a bunch of times and like do all this research. And it's a really fascinating film to read about, more so than watch for me, but I did also enjoy it a lot more than I was anticipating for that like nerdy. This is like his hyperfixation. He just loves this stuff. He's like obsessed with it, and he somehow managed to use the studio system to make a 3-hour, adjusted for inflation, $400 million Titanic movie. And I think he just figured out the right angles to take it, make it like a romance movie that becomes a kind of disaster film.
Yeah.
It just appeals to so many different audiences. It's well made. The scale and the sets are awesome. I was quite impressed by a lot of this movie. It takes a little while to get going for me. A couple of age things about it, but man, I actually thought as far as like a broad blockbuster is concerned, he knows how to do it.
Imagine in the year like 3000. Maybe not the year 3000. Imagine in the year 2100 we get a 9/11 movie, and it's like 3 hours and 15 minutes long, and the first half of it is like this weird romance story about like classism or something, and then the entire second half of the, like an hour and a half of the fucking movie is just like this intense, like, whoa, the building's falling and people are falling, and one of them like falls out of the building and hits a propeller on the way down. People go, oh.
Okay, Adam, you're talking about a movie that exists already. It's called World Trade Center, and it's terrible, and it stars Nicolas Cage. We've like it's literally like we've had Titanic moments already. Like that's it's crazy that we've already mythologized
not this
it.
Good though. Not this epic. Not this 11 Oscar winning.
Not this good. Make 9/11 movies as good. Yeah, one day we'll do.
Make 9/11 movies great again.
I mean, yeah. You can't say it's too soon, at least.
No.
Well, okay, so here we go. We're talking about Titanic, and I'm glad, Alex, that you enjoyed your experience. Adam, I don't yet know how you feel about this, but before you reveal that information, I want to put into perspective here. 1912. People died on the Titanic. It sank into the ocean. It becomes an instant myth. It is perfect melodrama. It is the story of a ship, unsinkable ship on its maiden voyage, a story of rich, privileged people and poor people struggling to survive. It is a perfect disaster, like in the sense of storytelling perspective. Like it is. That's why it has persisted for so long. That's why there have been so many movies made about it, even before 1997's Titanic. Now imagine this happens. It's a myth, everything, blah, 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 blah. 1985, Titanic is discovered. Like they can't find it. They don't even know where it rests. They don't know exactly how it sank. Footage of Titanic in 1985, just a little over 10 years before this, well, less than 10 years before this movie got into production, probably. And of course, James Cameron is a freak about the water. We all know this. He has a way with water, and
it's his fetish.
Yeah.
Water is to James Cameron what feet is to Quentin Tarantino.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. So he pitches to 20th Century Fox. Hey guys, what about a Titanic movie? Give me some money. I'm going to go down there and film some shit. And they're like, yeah. If you want to make movies for us. He just came off of doing Terminator 2 and True Lies, very successful movies. And they're like, okay, sure. Yeah. Whatever you want, just promise us you're going to make a movie with us at some point. So he goes down there and he films the Titanic, and he admits that at that moment, he's like, okay, now I'm actually serious about making a Titanic movie. I want to do this. And things start moving along. He realizes he has to make it a romance. He has to make it as universal and big as possible. He wants to make people understand the loss of this era and this time period and what the ship was and how beautiful it is. And everyone doubts him. It balloons in budget, $200 million. He has DiCaprio in this role. People are saying he's wrong for this type of movie.
I didn't
He's
doubt
not
him.
tested for such a... Yeah, I know you didn't doubt him,
was
but there
6
were
years
doubters.
old, so.
And everyone's saying that this movie is going to be a huge fiasco like Waterworld. James Cameron can't pull it off. Literally terrible stories of people being terrorized on set. James Cameron being an asshole, yelling at people, blah, 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 blah,
Didn't
blah.
know about that.
It's going to be the worst movie ever. They go into the release of this movie, and they're talking about, James Cameron says, we expected it to lose at least $100 million. That was the expectation right out of the gate. And it becomes the number one movie in the world for 14 weeks straight, or if not the world, domestically. The biggest phenomenon, wins 11 Oscars. He yells on stage at the Oscars, I'm the king of the world.
Loser.
And they cancel him for saying that because it's cringe. And they're like, come on, dude, you just won 11 Oscars.
It's like the Howard Dean scream.
He does
You're
the Howard
weird.
Dean scream. And they're like, yeah, that's too far. Like, you can't do that. Like, be humble.
You're weird.
And he's like, I'm fucking James Cameron. I'm not going to do that. So that's my little spiel about how monumental this movie is. The fact that it exists in it'd be a miracle if it existed in a semi-coherent, decent way. The fact that it works so well, that it was such a success, that it still plays so well, is kind of a miracle. So, having said that, Adam, how do you feel about Titanic?
It was the number one movie of all time. Like, gross.
Yeah.
For a while.
The first movie to cross $1 billion.
Wow. I think it deserves that. I think it deserves the spot of being the number one grossing film for however much time. Because I can understand it, I understand the cultural impact and like how much of like an epic experience it was for people. And even though, like there's parts near the beginning where I'm looking at it going like those effects are really aged. Where it matters, the second half of the film where the entire thing's just a gigantic disaster set piece, huge action sequence. Where it matters, like it still holds up like really, really well.
Yes.
Maybe aided by the fact that was set like in darker lighting throughout the second half compared to the first half. Like literally just in the first half, there are just some shots that are like, ugh, ew. That's like just CG people or weird compositing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's weird CG, yeah.
Yeah, so the it's so interesting about this movie because the first half and the second half are so distinct from each other.
Yeah.
And not only are they distinct from each other, but they were on two separate VHSs because the movie was so long it couldn't fit them.
Oh yeah.
And so the double VHS, and it might have been like a double DVD too. Like home video, it was like two separate halves. And then you would get to the end of the first half, it would be like, please put in the second tape.
I'd completely forgotten about that.
Yeah. So if you like the second half better, you can just put in the second tape and start
But the
there.
second half doesn't work without the first half. The first half is so essential.
agree.
You don't give a shit without, all that buildup.
If you remember the first half, then it's still there.
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen it already, yeah.
And fast forward to the good bits.
Yeah, if you've seen it already. Yeah.
You can just go on YouTube and look up, sped up footage of Titanic or reverse sinking. I mean, I've seen the disaster footage so many times on YouTube in so many different meme formats. It's like, it's iconic and looks so good.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to point out about the special effects in this movie, because there are some wonky effects, but I think this movie, kind of like Jurassic Park, came out at the perfect time for it to look as good as it can.
Yeah.
Because the CGI is rudimentary, but they use it sparingly in ways that work. They use a ton. When you look at the special features, they use every trick in the book. I mean, the engine room, they're using mirrors, they're using miniatures, that's why the second half of this movie looks dynamite. It looks fucking crazy. And if it was 10 years later, it'd be a totally different story.
True,
James Cameron already on his Avatar mindset. I mean, maybe it all would have been motion capture. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I could see that.
Kind of a perfect time for this movie to come out, technologically speaking.
Yeah, I feel that way about a lot of 90s films, honestly. you know, like The Lion King being the peak of 2D animation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so something was just in the air. There was enough restrictions because the dedication to those sets towards the end, especially the second half when it all starts going wrong, the scale of them is so enormous, and the combination and subtle integration of CG where the CG people towards the first half in the bright, broad daylight, you can kind of tell, especially because the way, I think they did use motion capture for the movements, but some of them were kind of like cartoonishly animated in a way with the way they were moving their bodies. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. But towards the end, when it's mostly set at nighttime and the particular way it's lit really hides it well. I'm not thinking about it in that second half at all. It's quite incredible, where it goes in the second half.
Yeah. I think
that first half is...
Go for it.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I think what bothers...
Okay. I think...
Yeah, you go first.
I'm just waxing poetic. I could go on and on. I mean, and watching this again, also just like, I'm like just incredibly amazed at the pacing of the first half of this movie. Like, the thing is with James Cameron, and this is why I'm always talking about like why I love his movies and why, even if people say, oh, his stories are very simple and basic, like I think that's very intentional. It is schmaltzy and cheesy and melodramatic, but that is kind of what he's trying to do. I think that it is incredibly hard to pull an audience in for 3 hours and 14 minutes on a simple love story of, the rich girl and the poor guy. And all the little character beats, all the little moments of, okay, they have the meet. She wants to kill herself, jump off the railing, and he protects her, and then he's invited to the dinner, and then he has to dress up fancy and try to show up. Like there's so many good little moments, and their characters are so clearly defined, and they so clearly need each other. It's like, and not to mention their chemistry just as actors is perfect, but the script just constantly puts them at opportune moments to be connected. And I think like it is drawing on a long history of Hollywood storytelling. And when we're looking at, or at least when I think of this movie, I'm like, yeah, there are things that it could have done more interestingly, and talked about the Titanic sinking, whatever, but it is succeeding so well, like you said, Adam, at what it's trying to do. And in this mold of filmmaking, it's kind of unparalleled, but
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it deserves its place in culture and history and success, box office,
Normie masterpiece. Yeah.
It is a normie masterpiece, yeah. Yeah, it's great.
Maybe the normie masterpiece.
Should probably genuinely, yes, should be in the dictionary definition example. Yeah. But that's kind of what I like about it. The simplification you're getting at.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense to me with his approach to it. He's not trying to make it feel 100% real. It does feel like a exaggerated, more kind of myth type approach to it.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, actually.
Like it is a bit cornier, a bit more over the top, but it doesn't feel like it's trying to be direct.
It's the memory of an old woman. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That gives it like a nice framing.
The memory of a mean old woman.
who carries around pictures of herself
and just throws away like priceless artifacts that the nice people you're around have been looking for their entire lives.
Oh man,
I quite like that.
I defend that moment. I mean, the movie wouldn't work if she didn't do that. I mean,
what was the alternate deleted scene again? I remember there was like a really shitty one. It was posted to YouTube. There's like
they did an alternate version.
Yeah,
where Bill Paxton she gives it to Bill Paxton and then he tosses it in the water. I think.
I think that's something something like that. I'm kind of like skimming through it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a bit too corny.
No, that did not work.
It's way more personality to have her do it. It's like
it is very cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm skimming through this. But here's what I'll say about the quote unquote present day scenes, like the 90s scenes. Every single fucking moment of those is like insanely cheesy. Like, why the hell did she get an Oscar nom? Why did the old lady get an Oscar nom? She was like the worst actor.
But she did?
I'm sorry. She didn't win the Oscar.
She got an Oscar nom?
She got a nom for it. Yeah, I think they were excited to nominate the oldest person that they would ever nominate. I think they wanted one of those like, we're breaking the record with the nomination. Like the Oscars likes to do that. Like, ooh, there's a record here. It's news. Maybe people will watch our broadcast. So they gave her a nom, and she's the oldest nom.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, but those like giddy scientist scenes worked for me because it just felt like James Cameron basically was self-inserting and like, this is an excuse to show off the technology that we've actually like gone down here and made these scans and these replicas and everything, and this is a way to show it off. And I'm just going to keep it super kind of surface level and have this 100-year-old come in and be the narrator.
Well, tonally too.
Yeah, I mean, whether or not it's like a self-insert, like it doesn't feel just masturbatory in a way that it easily could, with obviously James Cameron being obsessed with this shit. Like I think that the computer simulation showing how the Titanic broke apart and not capsized but like sank, like the way that happened, showing that imagery to the audience early on, like well before it ever happens, I think is a very beneficial thing to the experience of actually seeing it happen with the characters later in the film, because you already have an idea of like what is happening physically. They don't have to explain it, like, you know, what's happening with the weight and how things are being dragged down or breaking apart. And it also provides a sense of like anticipation, because you're like, oh shit, like you know, as you see one end start to like lean up further, like, oh, they're going to be on top of it. Oh God. Like, cause you know, it's going to happen. You know, the risk of how things are going to play out. Like, so I think that that's a very smart way of revealing that information, is through the present day scenes.
That's great. It's such a great setup of just telling the audience, exactly what you need to know. It was also new science at the time. Like that was a new development. Of like, oh, the ship actually broke apart that way. Also, like the early scenes with all the scientists is very cheesy, like James Cameron, like, you know, dialogue and stuff, and they're all doofuses, whatever, and they just seem lame. But the point of that, I realized, is at the end of the film, you know, like after she's done telling her story, like they are changed, and we as an audience is changed, and we have to see that in their eyes as they watch her finish telling the story. It's kind of like it's a stupid, like very simple, like, oh, it's not really about, Bill Paxton's like, it's not really about the diamond. It's about, you know, the story of what this was and the people who died here, you know. But that's what they needed to hear. That's what the audience wants to hear. And I think it demonstrates that well. I think I love how the relationship builds in such like a cliche way, but it's never. I think just the performances sell it so well. I don't know. Can you guys imagine other performers carrying this movie like this? I feel like DiCaprio's just so magnetic in this role with Winslet. Yeah,
he was 10 years old when this was made.
He looks like it. Yeah.
I love Winslet, actually. It's always got like a special place in my heart from Eternal Sunshine. Yeah, they both sell it really well. Like they've got really great chemistry for the roles. They're ripe for like the fantasy, almost like fan fiction-y element. They're ripe for the romance in a positive way that is universal for audience members.
Yeah. Well, they're like the Romeo Juliet.
People are invested in their relationship.
Yeah. They're kind of the heart of the movie. They give you something to buy in and be invested in. So when it all kicks off, you feel the tension 100 times stronger. And it's just such a like larger than life story. In reality, I feel like giving it that fictional Romeo and Juliet slant does give it like a fun tone that keeps it a bit more light for that first half.
Yeah.
Because like when I was looking through reading about the production, I found a whole list of like every single crossover between which characters James Cameron made up and which characters were based on real people. And because I noted down that kind of, that cliche of the captain, this is my retiring, my last mission before I retire type thing. And it's like, you look into it and it's like, the real guy was actually in that situation in the real story. So it's like such a big, larger than life myth anyway. I feel like you kind of had to lean into that and make it a bit more like fantastical to sell it. So yeah, I really didn't have an issue with that kind of genre approach to it.
I wonder if their names being Rose and Jack is kind of like supposed to connect people's minds to like Romeo and Juliet, because they start with the same letters, R and J. Their names are very simple.
True, yeah.
Simple, memorable, and iconic names. Because like, their names so well by how many times they both call out each other's names, right? Jack, Jack, Rose. Like you have it's iconic just from watching the film once. Like it sticks.
Yeah,
it's very easy to remember.
It really does, and. Apparently, Matthew McConaughey missed out on this role because he missed out on the role. Several missed out on the role because they didn't want to audition. Like they were like, I'm too big to audition. Why do you want me to audition, James Cameron? That's demeaning to me as a A-list actor. And apparently DiCaprio didn't want to do it because he was like, oh, this isn't challenging or interesting. And James Cameron, from his telling, says that what convinced DiCaprio to be part of the film is that he said it's much harder to do like a classical Hollywood, like James Stewart, Gregory Peck style of hero, like carrying the movie as a star rather than doing like a deeper character performance. And I think that like presenting it as a challenge for DiCaprio was interesting. Like that's what locked into his brain of, oh, that's how I can find myself in this role. And I think it's telling how he has pursued his career, because I feel like most of his roles that he picks are like big challenges. Like, how does he make this happen? It seems really difficult, and he just wants to make it hard for himself almost. So, I don't know. I like that little detail.
He won an Oscar for grunting.
He did, and hiding inside of a horse's tummy.
I love that movie.
Lovely stuff. So, all right. So we kind of talked about the first half, but I think most people admit, like, yeah, the second half is when things really kick into high gear. Like, there are sequences, like extended, like the second half of this movie flies by. It really, like, this movie does not feel like 3 hours and 15 minutes. The whole sequence where Jack, like the melodrama, the heightened tension, like it can't just be the ship is sinking. That's stressful enough. James Cameron has to have Jack handcuffed to a pipe. He's locked up. There has to be a shootout. Billy Zane running around trying to shoot them.
Yeah,
like,
stressful.
It is so. It could have gone. It could have been too much, and it almost does veer into too much, but because it's like we've spent so long with these characters, it's building up this tension. The effects are so convincing with like all this real water, and reportedly they were freezing their asses off in this water. I mean, people were getting ill being in the water.
Water's cold.
For so long. It can be cold. Indeed.
I mean, unless you're going to heat the water.
Unless you're going to heat the water.
That'd be That'd be a way higher budget.
Yeah, no, fuck that. We don't have money for that.
No.
So, yeah, second half. What is your favorite moment in the second half of this film?
I don't know. There's a lot of really satisfying payoffs to like kind of like callbacks. Like she spits on him. She Haktuas on that thing, you know?
Yeah, that's a good callback.
Yeah, they were teaching how to Haktua.
Mm-hmm. I like Billy Zane grabbing the little kid and being like, I have a child! I have a child!
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, good villain stuff, like mustache twirling villain stuff. Yeah, it's fun that you put that into the movie. There's countless stuff with the various side characters. It's a huge ensemble, and there are a bunch of great character moments that, as you're getting at, are paid off in the second half. The captain going down, Bernard Hill, love his performance here. He's got gravitas to him. I like that engineer character a lot, and that him like lingering in the ship and his delivery of like trying to communicate that this is done in like an hour or two, and just the rising tension and feeling of that like stress and that last hour and a half or whatever, like the panic level just keeps compounding on itself higher and higher until you get to a level of violence and misery I'd forgotten was as intense as it gets in this movie. You're seeing like frozen babies and their parents, and like a sea of frozen bodies. It's like hundreds and hundreds of people, and getting that is part of what I like about the choice to have the 100-year-old woman, having her give like the numbers and facts, which as far as I understand are quite accurate. Does give it like a nice through line and layer to it, where it just gives these numbers that, I don't know, have a distance to them when you just read it on a Wikipedia page or whatever, and visualizes it and gives it like an emotional slant that makes it quite heavy and painful, and so like sick through the like class angle of the way they're talking about each other and the way they organized and tried to bribe their way off the boats and just not bringing enough boats to put people on. It's like such a tragedy. I don't know how you can't be invested in what's going on.
It's conceptually terrifying, and the way that they showcase it, like they don't forget to show how terrifying it is. You know, like it's already, the concept of drowning is already like, you know, scary. But then you throw in extra elements like, you know, having the hallways and compartments filling with water. You know, like having the excuse to have characters go back to those locations. So Jack being handcuffed, right? And then the continuity of her being down there, having to like go back up, search for help, coming back down, and you can see the water levels just that much higher, right? The continuity of it like really, really drives home like like there's an urgency to this. It's terrifying, right? And then even past that point, like, you know, all of these people that are being held back by barriers, like, no, sorry, you can't get out of here yet. We're trapping you here because you paid the lower ticket price. All these like screaming people, the chaos and just trying to get off. And then even like, you know, some things just kind of said through dialogue, although also shown, but like explicitly said through dialogue, like, there were only 12 people on that boat, buddy. Like, why aren't you filling them? Like, there's already not enough. Like, you're just like, literally, people are dying just because what? They wanted more leg room or something. Like, come on.
I mean, there is so much like look. There's a whole industry on YouTube of people being like, "Oh, this is inaccurate in Titanic." You know, this is what they got wrong. But I mean, from what I understand, the movie did leave out the fact that the Californian or whatever ship it was like within sight, and everyone on the ship assumed they were coming. So there wasn't such a hurry to to get in the boats and to get off board, because they're like, oh yeah, the ship is right there. Like, they're just going to come pick us up. Until like the very end. So I think this movie kind of heightens the panic earlier on. You know, I think there was right up until the very end, they were kind of like, oh, they're coming, you know? Yeah.
It would be completely overstuffed if you had to explain the other ships in the area. I totally get why he chose to cut what he needed to.
Yeah, that makes sense dramatically.
Yeah, exactly. Like kind of prioritizing the mythic narrative over the literal. Has to be completely accurate. He's still going above and beyond with that, replicating these rooms as best they can and trying to be honest to what the heart of the story should be, and selling like the misery of it towards the end, like the coldness of the water when they start getting ice developing on their hair and on their eyebrows and whatnot, and the cold breath. It really sells the environment. I, as a cold expert, I was curious about the cold breath, because it looked a little off. Like it looked like not completely accurate but still really good. But I knew it wasn't CG because it didn't make sense for it to be CG in 1997 with just like how it looked. No. And apparently, it was like composited, and it looks really, really good for compositing. Yeah, like they nailed the rhythm of like speech. Except for the last shot with Rose and the whistle. They forgot to composite the breath when she's blowing through the whistle. Mm-hmm. These fools.
Right. Yeah. 1 out of 10.
They ruined it. Fools. It's an important shot. These damned fools. They forgot.
They don't know what they're fucking doing.
And he didn't even fix it in his 4K shit. He didn't even fucking George Lucas it, which he loves to do.
Well, he's still alive. I'm sure he'll do another special edition where there's even more AI smearing. But, something that just works about this movie, like the fact that it's a romance and the fact that it's like such a disaster, it just wouldn't connect. Like all this misery, it would just feel like trauma porn, just watching these people die and get brutally murdered. And I think that's where a lot of disaster movies really struggle, in that this movie captures the highest highs of human emotion, falling in love, finding true love, bucking the system, finding who you are. Like the story is as much a romance as it is a story of like Rose self-actualizing and becoming like her own person. Yeah. That's paired really well.
I would consider it to be more that than true love, honestly, but they've known each other for like a day. It's not true love.
I've seen this movie several times, but watching it again, I bawled. I was like crying, and I didn't start crying when Jack dies. When he sinks into the water. What got me is like the whole buildup after the fact of her talking about like she lived her life, like he wanted, and she became her own person. We see her on a freaking airplane, being a cool Amelia Earhart, like. His love for her was so pure. Excuse me for getting into this. It was so pure. Nice. She literally became like a modern 20th century woman and became who she wanted to be and lived to be fucking 102 or whatever. And it's just the way the movie ends on the highest high of emotion. It doesn't do some weird bullshit. Like it ends on her sleeping or dying, whatever you want to see, and seeing Jack on the Titanic, beautiful, it's just, and then it's like the perfect ending. Like it is so moving, especially after sitting through all that misery. Like, I don't care if it's manipulative as fuck. It works. It is just powerful.
Yeah. There's like a romantic wish fulfillment element, like the heart of it, which is definitely part of why it connected the way it did. But just the creativity to how it was brought to screen. Like we were talking about those scenes in the water with all the freezing people, the creative license of how they lit that with the like blue light over everybody. I love the like style of it and the choices to do that without, again, having to worry about the ultra realism, just having this, kind of genre bending thing of, the myth at the center, realism of the actual event, finding that balance. Yeah, it really does pay off towards the end. I didn't like bawl watching this. It doesn't affect me emotionally like some of his other movies, but you can't help but at least respect it, even if you're not vibing emotionally with it at that point. Because I guess one of the things that was holding me back is like it is a very 90s film. I'll say not just with the approach of the effects and whatnot, but the association with the music and the way like the certain lines have just infected culture, where you all know like all of this stuff before seeing it. And I was like, oh yeah, Somehow I'd forgotten the Draw Me Like One of Your French Girls was from this movie.
Yeah.
I'd assumed it was like from something older because it's just kind of like always been around as far as so. But it's like, oh yeah, that's from this movie. God, this really was everywhere. Oh my God, it was like such a big part of culture around this time. And that the song and the credits and everything, like, it's still played to this day.
Well, maybe that's like an interesting element to talk on too, is that this movie received such a huge backlash. And when I saw it, you know, when I was like super young, at least to me, it was like the ultimate chick flick. Like I saw it in like a demeaning, like I thought it was lesser movie because it's like, oh, this is for girls. You know, I was like, oh, there's no way I would like this. And then I'm secretly, you know, watching it, like crying and like being so excited. Like, it is such a universal movie, but for whatever reason, maybe because it was just so successful at the time, that there had to be some kind of a backlash to kind of dismiss it.
That's literally just what happens.
Yeah, it's just what happens with every movie. Yeah. I guess the bigger the impact, the bigger the backlash. Avatar went through the same thing. But I think over time, like, I feel like it's aged pretty well, even though, like you said, Alex, there are parts in the movie where you're just like, it's too well known, it's too memed, it's too, like, you know, like the hand slapping the glass, the steamed up glass in the car, you know, like, there's some silly stuff, but I mean, for me, the music sells it. Like, that really hooks me and gets me into the emotions of the story.
It depends where for the music. I feel like I am irritated by the not the composition per se of when we are introduced to the Titanic and like the Jack's doing his gambling or whatever and like, composition's good. The instruments, too dated. They're using like fake
what was
voice choir on a keyboard kind of thing. Like, and it's just the same sample being pitched up and down just on a library with a keyboard. It's just a very irritating, dated sound. But otherwise, you know, the soundtrack worked well. I feel like the Celine Dion song works well. You know, it's not literally in the movie, it's in the credits, but the melody is reincorporated throughout the movie. I like that it's, you know, kind of a theme that gets used throughout the film. Like, it's really nice, actually.
It's crazy that the song wasn't ever going to be a part of it. James Horner apparently went behind James Cameron's back. He wrote this song and asked Celine Dion to record the song, and then he played it for James Cameron. Like, you come on, just try it. And I think it was just a great decision. I mean, it was such a successful song, and it's really kind of a perfect music to end that. But I also don't have the same like music knowledge that you do, so I get why your ear would be more in tune to like, oh, that sounds so cheesy.
I mean, it's not like an objective thing to be irritated by like a particular sound or instrument. It might just be like fucking. It might be more closely related to autism, being annoyed at certain sounds.
The production was so incredible and didn't feel like it had aged a day for that second half. That was one of the things that was like dating it in the 90s for me. It was like, man, I wish this was like a full Lord of the Rings tier, like orchestra. This would have felt like perfect to me.
I don't feel like it needs that per se. There was nothing in the second half that really irritated me soundtrack wise, though. All of the cheese seems to be like neatly packaged in the first half, and it's just like fine, you know. I can bear through it, and kind of enjoy it in like a time capsule way.
The pace is quick enough. They don't put this Selena song in the actual film, so that would have been too much. I think that would have been super corny, but it's tasteful. Just ending the film and the credits with it.
It's a weirdly well-paced movie for 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's masterful.
Like, it doesn't. It's not like, boring at all.
That's what's great. I mean, it just blows my mind every time I watch it. Like, James Cameron is a freak. Like, I can't think of anyone similar. Like when I think of similar people, like he is the most chaotic blend of crazy mad scientist, genius, and a person who has like a weird, very primal connection to like raw human emotion and knows how to use technology perfectly to bring audiences on that wavelength. It's so crazy that like after this movie, the most successful movie in the world, 10 years later, he makes Avatar, similar, even more groundbreaking technologically, makes even more money. It's just a wild thing. I feel like I could only compare him, not in terms of like filmmaking style, but in terms of like career and his maybe like his how people see him on set,
his
he's
aura,
like a dictator. His aura is like Stanley Kubrick and Charlie Chaplin. And the Chaplin one might not make sense, but Chaplin was notoriously a menace on his sets and did a billion takes and was a hyper perfectionist, maniac.
Does Cameron do that?
A ton of money on his. Who knows?
There's a really interesting section about this with he got like nicknamed as, what was it, Midge, Jim Backwards, because everyone was so anti him on set, and it turned into a story big enough where he's quoted like clapping back to, I guess, the criticism, because I think to him it's like a philosophical approach to filmmaking, because his quote was, "Filmmaking is war, a great battle between business and aesthetics." So he's really taken like a hard stance of like, he clearly knows what he wants. He's going to get there and leverage this huge studio system. Like he's playing with amounts of money that are like absurd, especially for the time even. It must have been the most expensive film ever made at that point. So I guess he knew what that weight required to a certain degree, and that was his approach. He wasn't really about like making friends and making it like a nice, fun environment with like Kevin Smith and the Rock, Kevin Hart and the Rock, like having fun on set and chilling in the trailers. It's not really that vibe, and I don't know, he's not really been known for that. There's lots to read about The Abyss as well, and how hellish that was to work on, and there are tons of actors that wouldn't work with him again, and I don't know, He kind of has the evidence though, with the proofs in the pudding with him, where like he just has this process, I guess, and it works every time for him, and the studios like him, and now he can just do whatever he wants. That perfectionism has paid off for him. But I find that comment about the balance between business and aesthetics and the blunt admittance of that to be quite interesting and telling about his approach to filmmaking.
Oh yeah. Do you guys have a personal favorite Cameron film?
Might be this one, honestly.
Oh wow!
I need to rewatch the Terminators because I do have a fondness for Terminator
I need to
2
rewatch those
from memory
as well.
But it has been a while, so that's why I'd actually know it's probably Terminator 2 from memory.
Interesting. Yeah, Terminator 2 is great.
Yeah, it might be this one.
Wow, that's.
I'd have to
cool.
rewatch the Terminators though.
I love The Abyss, but I also feel like this movie kind of does The Abyss better, like in terms of
it's proto
like
Abyss in some ways.
Yeah, like The Abyss is exciting and badass, but it doesn't have the emotion in the same way. It just doesn't have that. That magic. Yeah. Maybe one day.
This got added to the National Film Registry in the Library of Congress for being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant in 2017. It took them a while.
Wow.
Damn,
decades.
Snobs.
They're like, we got to make sure that like people aren't going to forget about it.
Oh man,
I don't know. That's a pretty groundbreaking movie. I think you should know that by the year 2000.
Yes.
Yeah, if not sooner, to be honest.
Maybe they can't do it unless it's 20 years later. Maybe there's a rule.
Maybe.
Because that'd be a good rule, actually.
You'd have to ask them.
That's a good rule.
That would be. Titanic, man. Fucking great.
I was super happy it held up, to be honest, because revisiting Aliens was a bit of a bummer.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, really?
It was hard. Yeah, because I was always kind of firmly more in the Alien camp, and I feel like there's more of an extreme split there with like I don't know, him improving his own film with Terminator is one thing, but following up what I love about Alien. It does feel a bit more aged in certain ways to me. I know it's like the fan favorite for a lot of people, but I'm just always going to watch Alien over Aliens. And this was more like a, here we go, we're going into the 3-hour, 15-minute Titanic film. I hope the same thing doesn't happen. And it was almost the inverse. It was like, oh, this is actually way better than I remember. This is like expertly put together for what it's going for. And I don't know, I like him. I find him so interesting. I love all of his stuff outside of fictional films, and his obsession with the ocean and these documentaries he's been a part of, and of course like the new relevance this has with the Ocean Gate drama, and like just the repeating of that 100 years later. Like, what?
How morbid that, like, after the Ocean Gate stuff, like a week after, didn't Netflix like acquire Titanic and put it up on streaming? Like, that's so
really
ghoulish. Yeah. Like, yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but come on. No, that Titanic, what was so crazy about the Titanic thing, and this is just a testament to James Cameron's like insane nature, is that after they discovered like, oh yeah, it definitely imploded, and it imploded like immediately, James Cameron went on the news and was like on every major news station, and he was like, yeah, I knew that all along, I could have told you guys. He's like, the second I heard about it, vanishing, I was like, oh yeah, they just imploded. Yep.
Yeah. Shouldn't have used Mad Cats. Should have been first party.
He's now like the Titanic expert in the world, right? As far as visiting it the most times, because the other guy was on the Ocean Gate disaster. So that's kind of wild that this director, there's just something so earnest about that. It's like something so joyous about him using this as a platform to like, it's not just a film to him, it was also like a way to push this technology and use like the science of discovery to have baked in advertising for the movie and stuff like that. Like, it was like a whole, like flex to send real submarines down and film footage down there, which had obviously never been done before. So it's like groundbreaking, and it feels like a nice balance with the tech flex thing, where like directors can get really lost in that, and it seems to not complement a story, or it's just too on its face, where this just felt like, yeah, this is nice. This is a nice combination.
Yeah. And I think that's why it also doesn't feel super exploitative, like making this movie, this huge disaster epic about these real people who died, because it does feel like he has some reverence for what happened, and he cares about actually like entertaining people, but sharing like this story to the public and spreading knowledge of what happened. And in a similar way, he talks about Avatar, like in the same way, where he's like, I think he's even said, like, I treat it as a Trojan horse to talk about the environment and our connection to nature. And he's vegan, and him and his, wife, they have like a whole massive New Zealand compound or whatever. They are developing soybeans. I have no idea, but they're doing their vegan stuff.
He's a soy boy.
Yeah, he's soy boy. But yeah, interesting. We will be talking about James Cameron on, I'm sure, our Avatar Fire and Ash pod later this year.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'll watch it. People on the subreddit being like, do you think Adam will watch it? Yeah, I'll watch it. As long as I can see it in like whatever the fucking supreme crazy frame rate version.
Not the frame rate version, yeah.
No, yeah, I'll watch it that way.
Version.
I want to watch it in dumb video game version. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's how I don't want to see it.
What else is playing in that way? That makes it interesting.
I don't know, but speaking on that, the Way of Water, I'd forgotten how much Titanic is actually in that film.
Oh,
it was
I know.
Quite structurally similar as far as like how long it takes for the big last hour kind of set piece is like the peak of the film, and like the water element of the being trapped in a boat and all this kind of stuff for the action. It's like, wow, yeah, I'd forgotten just how much he has a boner for
like
water.
Best of. Yeah, best of James Cameron clip show.
Yeah, you could almost call him a hack.
You could.
Nah.
Yeah. And I will when Avatar Fire and Ash underperforms.
Titanic, much of the film, the first half felt like a 5 or a 6. Much of the second half felt like an 8 or a 9. I think I'm happy leaving it at a 7. It might even be a high 7. I enjoyed this film. And you know what? I'm gonna buy it on 4K Blu-ray, and it's gonna be in my collection because I would like to see this again.
Hell yeah. That's a win. That's a normie win for us.
It's a normie masterpiece. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm in a similar place. This would be like a high 7 for me.
Nice.
Just obsessed with that production design and reading about the film. It's so interesting. Loads of good stories about it. There's like this weird PCP incident as well I was reading about. It's like
PCP. Oh yeah. Somebody
like loads of and they like never caught whoever like spiked the soup or something that the crew were enjoying one day, and like it sent like 50 plus people to hospital. It
was Kathy Bates.
It was probably Gaspar Noé.
Yeah.
Both good answers.
Yeah. So high 7. If it had a bit more of an emotional punch for me personally, I'd put it a little bit higher, but I totally get why it has the place in cinematic history that it does.
Well, I'm glad you both enjoyed the rewatch. 10 out of 10 for me. Unimpeachable. I mean, every time I watch it, I go, why don't I think and talk about this movie more? Like it is. I think it is because it's just so culturally huge that it's like, duh, Titanic, good movie. Yeah, people like Titanic.
Duh.
Normie masterpiece. 10 out of 10. Thank you.
Yeah. It's like what, 28 years old now. Yeah, so Leo can't date it anymore.
Well, yeah. I was year I was born,
wow.
1997.
Yeah.
97.
Good year. Wow. All right.
Using clips from the 97 movie. Question time?
Questions.
Right. Let's do some questions then from the Sardonicast community. Head over to the suggestion thread over on the subreddit. If you want to leave questions for future episodes, just like JoJo's crazy Reddit did, and this this has come up a little bit as it has recently. JoJo's crazy Reddit says, since September is right around the corner and we have another certified American on the podcast, what are your thoughts on 9/11 cinema, and which film would you consider the best depicting / stories surrounding on that event? If not, is there one you'd be interested in checking out? I'm always happy to hear your guys' thoughts. So was it Remember Me? That's like the best 9/11 movie.
I was going to say the one with Robert Pattinson on 9/11. I think more movies should end like that. Just like you don't know how to end your movie. Just like
as the twist, yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going into this submersible. See you later. And then it ends. 9/11. I mean, that is an interesting question. I mean, I would love to like dive into like all of the, not just movies about 9/11, but like the immediate aftermath of like how movies. I mean, this is fascinating to me. I don't know. I mean, I talk about it all the time on the podcast, but sincerely, it is weird. And kind of like a huge negative, very conservative shift in the culture, especially in the United States. And like even the way movies just looked. I mean, I think, War of the Worlds, I think, is one of my favorite examples of a post 9/11 movie. Like that movie is dripping with like terror and fear and paranoia, and it's just coming from Steven Spielberg, our like most optimistic filmmaker. The way he just films things differently and continues to film things differently, honestly, since then. So.
What about movies that directly reenact or tell the story of the event itself? Because
sorry, you broke out for a second there. What did you say?
What about movies like, I'm thinking of the only one I've seen that directly depicts 9/11 one-to-one is United 93, the Paul Greengrass movie. I saw that like way back in the day. I don't know how it would read now. Honestly, it's been so long, but that's like the only 9/11 movie I can think of that's a direct, not like a War of the Worlds. Clearly a lot of the DNA of the attitude of the time is baked in here, but a literal telling.
Sorry, you broke out there for a minute, so I don't know if you mentioned this, and I was just going like hello on the audio, so you guys might want to cut out my audio there while you were talking. But United 93, I haven't seen that. I don't know. It's I feel like that'd just be really hard to watch.
That one you could argue is too close. 2006 is
that's
wild
crazy.
Turnaround to make a movie.
Crazy.
Paul Greengrass is all about exploiting tragedies. That's his shtick. He loves it.
Captain Phillips. Good movie.
It is a funny like director calling card to be like, yeah, I'm the misery guy. Like he's just waiting for the next one, you know?
Yeah.
Some bad shit happen? All right. You know who to call.
Cool.
Extremely loud and incredibly close.
Ka-ching. So there's I sent a thing in the Telegram group chat. I want you to click on that JPEG.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Telegram.
So, the Firefighters?
The movie. Prayer of Love and Peace, the screen. So there's this weird... So one of my watchers was visiting Japan, and they took a picture of like a poster for this movie called The Firefighters, the movie. And I was like, okay, you have to let me know how I can watch this. Because it looks so weird.
Whoa.
And it's a 9/11 movie from Japanese people. And so you do some digging. It's made by people that are part of something called like the Inamori Art Project Group. And I don't know if I'm debating whether or not I consider them to be like a cult, because they're so they have like this weird like lore of their group, and it's centered around like a woman who had like some sort of disease, but she had a philosophy of like, can't we all just get along? And so she like wrote letters to the Pope, and then she died, and now these other people are like taking over the organization and doing her wishes, sort of thing. And what they do is they do a lot of like live theater, and also this they call a movie, even though it is a movie, but like the whole thing's like on a theater stage, and there's no audience, but they just like use that instead of a set. And they use like backgrounds, and there's like editing and stuff. There's like effects, but it's like kind of cheap and low budget and weird. And it's like the same people doing all of these things. And sometimes they go to like New York to do these performances or whatever. And their stated goal is unification, in the sense that they want a one world government with one religion. The religion being the Earth religion. And they think that they can achieve this by making like kind of funny performance pieces. I don't know. It's very weird, and I've kind of like stumbled across this weird thing.
That's crazy.
How do you
weird.
find this shit?
Well, my watcher was in Japan, and
sounds like the cult from Dead Space. They have like a whole unification thing.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I've skimmed through this movie. It's very fun. It's free on their website, uohnit.com, and then like events, the Firefighters. You have to like give your email, and then it just goes to like a Vimeo link. If anyone wants the direct Vimeo link, since it's not secured or anything, vimeo.com/873447366. It's very funny. I haven't watched the whole thing. I've watched like the first 20 minutes, but I would say that that's my favorite 9/11 movie.
Next recommendation?
This poster is surreal. It's extremely dense with information.
Oh yeah.
It's like paragraphs and paragraphs.
Like how there's the box that's like troubled youth.
This was what I would have recommended if I didn't do a Pride Month recommendation. If I stayed on Spite, it would have been this.
Ugh.
This is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Thanks, gay people.
You're welcome.
No, thank you. I didn't want to watch this.
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating, and they go they go the angle of like the firefighters are ghosts, and they're like talking to them like, damn, it's so sad that this happened. Like, it's okay. It's only like an hour long. The first 5 minutes are them just like talking about their weird cult thing, but
no, it's all right. You sold me. I'm never going to watch this.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, I haven't finished it, but it's probably great.
Okay.
There's an entire world of cinema that nobody even knows exists, right? There's an entire world
That's
out
true.
there. All you got to do is look.
Just like the 10-hour Logan Paul staged the suicide video.
Yeah.
Whatever that was called.
Oh yeah, I actually watched
cinema.
a few hours of that.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Of course you would.
I watched it on like 1.5 times speed or something.
That's awesome.
I was just like doing laundry or whatever, like listening to it in the background. Yeah, crazy find. I like that you commented on the episode. That's pretty fun.
Yeah,
Must have-
that was awesome. Hello.
Hello. He appreciated the constructive criticism.
Cool. That's nice.
Yeah, there's a whole world of films out there.
That's so true.
How come you guys haven't seen Castration Movie Part 1 Traps? Sorry, Castration Movie Anthology 1 Traps. How come you haven't seen it? Because people were giving me shit for not seeing the fucking new Marvel bullshit.
I'd like to live in a world where people give us shit for not seeing Castration Movie. Instead of Marvel.
I'm giving you shit
That's
right
a good
now.
world.
What the fuck? It's interesting.
Okay.
It's way more interesting than all of the shit that I skipped. we could have been talking about interesting things.
We could have been. I mean, I think Fantastic Four is interesting. No?
No,
Yeah.
it's disposable.
Oh, well,
Okay.
coulda, woulda, shoulda. I might watch the Firefighters though.
Yeah. Do you want to we could do like a stream watch along if you want to.
No, don't make me watch this.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that you have to, Jake.
But
Alex, we'll talk about this later.
Okay. Right. Let's do this one then from Jojo Jack-san. Are any of you worried about global censorship on all media and content?
No.
So I guess this is on the back of some of the stuff happening in the UK, mostly in regards to pornography, but like Microsoft is hopping on board and making it so you got to put ID in to play certain games or go and interact with like party systems and messaging systems with, making sure you're the right age. And we're just talking about, does it count as censorship to just be removing these films and having no way of preserving them?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what he's getting at with this question. I guess it's a form of it, like quite a banal one, and not like a mustache-twirlingly evil form of it, I don't think. It's more just like a crude business reality, I think, but it still does feel like there are loads of people in the industry putting all this work in. Yeah, they don't have they don't have evidence of the thing they've made, which just feels kind of wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am worried about it, yeah.
Yeah. Big tech scares me.
What's the question?
Are any of you worried about a global censorship on all media and content?
I mean, yeah. We'll have to see where things go. I think both of your governments are fucking terrible and stupid. So,
Yeah.
Both of your being Jake and ours.
I mean, mine's not like perfect or anything, but like you guys are speed running this shit.
Let's go.
So it's not a discussion in Canada at all? These like ID checks and I don't know.
It doesn't appear to be something that we're concerning ourselves with at the moment. Seems like an odd thing to prioritize.
Well, yeah, I don't know why that is, like, why they're putting this attention on it now. Because it was always like a joke that certain video games in Australia, like Left 4 Dead 2 and whatnot, they were like banned for their violence and stuff like that. It's like, huh? What? Now we're just doing like a similar type thing, and the way it's implemented is obviously like it's like a bunch of people that don't use the internet making rules about the internet and just not realizing some of the damage they cause through their bad implementation of it. Like, it's really goofy.
Yeah, it sucks because I feel like our generation is going to be the last to remember when the internet was kind of free and not shit in every single way.
Yeah.
Like it's just different. It's different now. It's corporate. There's very little. It became shit. But there was a time when it was shitty in a different way, but in an interesting way. Yeah. I don't know. It sucks. I don't like get your hands off my data. Get your hands off my motherfucking data, you governments.
Not you, Amazon. You're fine.
Yeah, Amazon's fine.
Exactly. And you're trusting all these mega corps with the information anyway. Like, what do you think storing the pictures of the IDs at the end of it anyway? And they're the ones that have implemented.
Yeah, that one's concerning to me.
Yeah, and people are just AI generating like fake passports to use, or they're using like Keir Starmer's face to like scan in and stuff like that. So it's like quite an absurd waste of time, I think. Even if like think of the children heart of it has some truth, like philosophically, I guess, but the implementation of it is just so
I don't know,
terrible.
I think probably, you know, this might not be like a for sure way to prevent all instances of this from happening, but I think that probably, you know, it starts with parenting, does it not? Like that's like a big contributing factor is parenting. It's like controlling access.
I mean, as a parent, I assumed I'm just going to like let him be on an iPad all day. I mean, that's what I do. Just like,
yeah, I understand that to a degree.
I was like, here's an iPad, just like.
I trust YouTube to teach my kid about life.
Yeah.
It's more like the exposure of it, though. As good as a parent as you could possibly be, when they start going to school and are socializing with people outside of what you can control, like that's when I started seeing like crazy shit, like all these like gore sites at school and on the school PCs and everything. It was like total Wild West. So I don't really know how you control for that. They just kind of open the box.
Yeah, so I don't know. Given how I grew up, what's the worst that could happen? I feel like we already kind of just did it.
We've seen the worst that could happen.
Yeah.
We have a generation that has seen the worst that could happen, and this is it.
I'd be less concerned about like what level of like explicit content is accessible to anyone who's curious about it. I'm less concerned about that and more concerned with like, you know, adults entering child spaces, you know, and like, you know, predators making Minecraft YouTube channels and Roblox shit, you know, like, oh, you know, people maybe educate your kids better on like safety in that sense. That seems like more of a priority. Or like, I don't know if you could do anything governmentally that would maybe fund some programs for education that would help with that. You know, that could be an idea.
Re-education. Yeah, maybe like camps for re-educating people.
I mean, yeah.
And how do you communicate like online safety in a way that people will listen, the way that kids will listen?
I don't know. How do you communicate anything?
But
you could have a curriculum in school.
It's just the access, though, I guess, is more my thing, where it's so normalized just to have smart devices everywhere.
Yeah.
You can, you know, in the 80s, you'd have to go to a gas station to get like a porno mag or whatever. Like there's a barrier to get to it. So I don't know, without this weird ID system.
I think we just have reached a level of like there's no turning back in terms of just our civilization. Like our brains are just changing. And like people were having this conversation when the radio was developed, you know, like people were having panic attacks because news was coming too fast over Morse code, you know?
Right. Yeah.
This is a constant thing, and like a fear of like, yeah, this is bad for our brains, but we don't live in a society or world structured to benefit and to look out for humans first and foremost. Like it's not there to really look out for the people first. And you know, that's why all this censorship stuff to me is just like so dubious, and all this control. It's like, this is just, you're working with the corporations to make this happen. Is this really for people? Is this really trying to protect people? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
It seems way more for control than anything else. Because even though, at its heart, you can weaponize children for your own political beliefs, kind of like
weapons.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Nice,
bringing it back.
You know, like at its heart, you'll have most people behind the idea of like, keep children away from content that isn't safe for them or whatever. Yeah, that's like a normal, nice opinion to have. But you shouldn't do it in a way where it restricts people from having the freedom to do what they want, right? You shouldn't do it in a way where like a person who's not a child is being inconvenienced by it, or if like a parent wants to show their kid like a fucking rated R movie, they're allowed to do that, right? Your kid's your property at that point.
For now.
Yeah. I mean, like they're parents. If we live in a world where parents are able to decide how they want to raise their kids, then you have to account for, people doing that in ways that you might not like. When I was 13 years old, I had a computer and I typed in boobs.com because I was curious. And then I got in trouble because my mom checked my browser history and she's like, boobs.com! And now, it didn't even do anything because boobs do fucking nothing for me. So they do literally nothing. It's like a chair.
Oh man,
I'm not disgusted by it, but it's like
a chair.
Yeah, it's like a chair. Like
that's crazy.
I'm not disgusted by it, but it's just there. Like they do literally nothing. So it didn't really have an effect on me.
That's a really interesting story.
Yeah, joke's on you, Mom.
Yeah.
That's a nice
innocent job.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as kids aren't being fed these things like algorithmically, then it's probably fine. Because like, I don't know, like maybe I'm naive. I'm just thinking like, what kids don't like search up things that they don't know exists.
I guess that's part of my issue.
So
right?
you'd have to be a person that's already. There has to be some other force leading them to want to search that up. Which you'd think that would be what you would want to target. So is it an algorithm? Because that's what you should target then. Is like how things are algorithmically shown.
It's all well and good like banning porn sites directly, but when it's like Instagram and TikTok, which has a bunch of like softcore stuff anyway, so like I don't think you need to put ID into those. So I don't get like the targets they're choosing, the way they think this stuff is learned, or information flow of things, and how brutal these algorithms are.
Yeah, the problem is like to try and draw a line between like what content is appropriate and what is inappropriate is like, to some people they might think that it's fucking obvious, but when you really get down to it, when you really try, when like that's your job and you're tasked with doing that, like on an actual practical scale, it's really difficult. It's really difficult, right? Like you'll see, like where's the line in terms of like fetishes? Right now, you'll see streaming services like Twitch kind of catching up to the idea that some people are into feet, right? So you can't just have like a, foot cam the soles of your feet, and then every dono you fucking splash goop onto it or whatever, right? Like they've clued into the fact that some people are into feet, but some amount of years ago they might not have realized that that's like a weird fetishy thing, right? But there's an infinite amount of fetishes, right? There's fetishes for people that enjoy like submersing themselves in mud. You see a video of a guy being like, "Oh no, I'm trapped in like quicksand." That's a fucking fetish. Nikocado Avocado, his entire fucking YouTube channel was a fetish, and I was calling it from fucking day one, and nobody fucking knew. YouTube themselves didn't know. When you logged in to your fucking YouTube manager, you would see there was a point in time where you would see Nikocado Avocado and be like, "Oh, here's our featured creator. He's just doing such a great job." YouTube promoted the shit out of him without realizing that his entire fucking channel was just one large fetish channel, right? So how do we ban Nikocado Avocado? I don't know. Right? Is that inappropriate for YouTube? I don't know. Like it's really difficult to try and like completely eradicate every single instance of this. And what winds up happening, if you do eradicate the most obvious ones, then you're left with the niche ones. And then the effect of that afterwards would be, oh, kids are still being exposed to fetishes, but just the weird ones, right? So it's like,
right.
You can't, it might be doing more damage than you think if your goal is to not have kids into like weird fetishes. Because now they're into the really niche ones. Now it's all like, Now they're only being exposed to the ones that you didn't catch because you didn't even know it was a fetish, right?
Mm-hmm. And they're being funneled to more niche sites as well.
That's the slippery slope.
What?
If all the big obvious sites,
Yeah.
if all the big obvious sites have the ID check, but the niche ones
Oh,
don't, then they're literally being funneled to the more niche specific stuff anyway.
Yeah. I think we have to accept the fact that, like, you know, if you have kids on the internet, then they're going to run into shit. And so maybe, like, if we decide that it's very, very important for them not to be exposed to any potential, you know, amount of things, like if you as a parent decide that they shouldn't be, then they shouldn't be on the internet. Right? That's pretty much as simple as it can get, is you shouldn't have them on the internet.
Yeah.
Right? You shouldn't be legislating broad things for everybody.
Mm-hmm. But if, like, just the island of the UK and our little tiny vacuum and our little tiny island can't agree on anything, add in the whole wide world and the whole interconnected network of all these different cultures, all these different belief systems, all of it, we're never going to be able to agree on anything. So it's just like Wild West nightmare.
Wicked, wicked, wild, wild west. Wicked, wicked, wild.
Just do what I do, and I try not to think about it ever. There we go.
Yeah, someone else will deal with this.
Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk will sort it for us.
Yes.
Oh, wait, my rights are being infringed. Shit, I should have been paying attention. Fuck. Damn it. Always sneaks up on you.
I'm gonna watch I'll watch Titanic behind the scenes videos and just hope that it goes away.
Yeah,
well,
I don't know.
To kind of shift more into the... Sorry, did you have more to say on that?
I was just going to say, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't plan on being a parent. Sometimes I think about, like, what I would do if I was a parent, like, in this day and age. Like, what age would I, like, feel is appropriate to, like, have them even see a screen? Or, like, you know, would there be, like, much of a difference between, like, YouTube content and, like, a film? Like, would that have, like, an effect on their brain? Like, at what age would I feel it's appropriate for them to be, like, interacting with a screen in real time, you know, like playing a game on a screen?
Oh, yeah.
These are all reasonable questions. And
they are. And I won't get into, like, everything we're doing. I mean, he has, right now, I mean, he's so young, he has no screen time. But, you know, we've talked a lot about, like, when do you introduce screen time? You know, that's a difficult thing. But we're just trying to, like, not... at this point, I'm just, like, worried about him learning to reach for the doorknobs. You know, like, that's a few steps away. Like, I'll get to it when I need to get to it.
Yeah, it's tough because you don't want to, like, kneecap them socially either, because it is how people, you know, learn the lingo, the words people are saying. It's when I talk to, like, my 15-year-old cousins, the stuff they're saying, it's just like, bro, this is crazy. Like so I don't know if you don't give them that access, if then that hurts them in certain ways. It's a really difficult question, I feel.
Yeah, they'll be culturally behind.
Australia enacted a law recently that bans everyone under the age of 16 from having social media platforms.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
So, like,
what is happening? Just a blanket
ban. I don't know what is defined as social media. Like, I guess... Yeah. Like, wouldn't anything, like any account?
And then how's it enforced?
Exactly. So they're obviously, you know, the government is expecting the social media platforms to be to be implementing it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, how do you fucking do? I don't know how do you do that. It's a lot. It's a lot of government expecting these tech companies to figure shit out in a way that seems like not really possible. So they just have to, like, pretend they're doing something to appease if they want to stay in the market, I guess, in Australia. And at that point, like, I don't know, there might just be a lot of companies that just dip from the Australian market. But
it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's concerning.
Yeah.
Very concerning.
You guys do whatever the fuck you want, as long as it doesn't affect me.
Yes.
that would chestnut. Well, to kind of pivot off that one, Mr. McDan has something on similar lines. Despite being talked about less lately, the streaming wars are still going strong. Netflix, Apple TV Plus, Prime Video, HBO Max, and so many more are still fighting for their place in this market despite the fact that most of them continue to bleed money. What do you think this market will look like in a decade or more from now? Which ones will be left standing? Which ones will have consolidated? And which will have fallen by the wayside? I feel like like your Disney Pluses, it's got like Bluey, stuff like that. Your Hulu's with Family Guy. When you have these like mega Grey's Anatomy type things that just on repeat forever, those are pretty safe. If you've got like the IPs you can lean back on, like Stranger Things, stuff like that. Netflix will still be around in 10 years' time if I had to bet. But all this, all the mimicking of the business model of Netflix, basically, but doing it way later. This like loss leader type idea where they lose money for years and years and years and eventually just build up so many subscriptions that it starts making money for them. But it's not working for all of them. Like the Apple TV spending is so obscene. And then we're talking about Amazon Prime. There was this Amazon Prime movie I watched called Samaritan or something. And I looked up the budget, and it was like $150 million to get this stuff made. And it's like, what? It looked like it was made for 10. Like, it seems like there's like all sorts of strange number fudging going on. I don't know. I don't understand the way it is moving because like it doesn't add up. Like to me, I don't know how many of them can keep going this way. And it's just ironic that the whole cable TV model, we've just basically wound up in the exact same place again, where you just subscribing to all these different streaming services the same way you subscribe to all these different channels, and the whole thing that made it appealing to begin with is now enshittified. So yeah, where do you think it'll be in 10 years?
Shockingly, Paramount Plus is profitable. That's one of the ones I was expecting not to be.
Interesting.
Apple TV Plus is not profitable.
Yeah,
no way.
They spent so much on their productions.
They're losing over $1 billion per year, it says, according to Variety.
and they could do that times 1,000 and not even be hurt. They just
because
so
it's
much
Apple.
money. Yeah.
Yes, the whole loss leader thing.
And then, unsurprisingly, Peacock is not making money. I had to remind you it existed by saying that.
Yeah.
Fuck Peacock,
dude.
But they have reruns of The Office. Isn't that enough to get people to watch?
Yay.
No, I mean, Alex, I think you like literally covered everything. It is, we're seeing it in slow motion. Like it is all just merging. Disney literally just said they're going to be putting Hulu now under the Disney banner. So it's just going to be like, capitalism does what it does, and all these big corporations, they're going to merge, and then there's going to be like 3 big things with different tiers, and you can. Yeah. I mean, it's already happening, and
Hulu has been owned by Disney for a while, isn't it?
Yeah, but now it's like they're literally combining.
Oh.
I think they're
in the UK like they've been combined for a while now.
Oh, are they really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, over here, I guess they took a while to do that. Anyways.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that makes more sense to just have it all on one app. Like, why would it be separate?
Yeah, I think I've always known it as separate in America.
It's just cable. It's just cable again. It's just cable, but worse. Just like Uber is taxis, but fucking way worse. So.
It's cable, but better for people that don't pay for it, because you get really easy, clean rips of everything you could possibly want. It's way better for people that don't pay for it. Piracy has never been better. Just not as many people are doing it because they're stupid.
Yeah, well, that's the irony of it, is when they made it so convenient, you just pirated less. When Netflix was actually awesome.
Yeah. Gen Z didn't learn how to pirate. And so now people are just not pirating just because they think that they don't know how.
I never learned how to pirate. I never had someone the older brother be like, all right, come on, do this. So it just never became a habit of mine.
All right, well.
Yeah, but now they just watch their version of pirated media, TikTok cuts, 38 parts of a movie.
Or like looking for things on YouTube.
Yeah. It's always in the search bar.
Yeah, I have my watch-alongs channel. Everybody subscribe to that, okay?
Subscribe.
Where what I do is I just have like the time code on the screen and then me reacting to whatever movie or show. And so I started doing this new South Park season, and because so many people were searching for the new South Park episode,
Yeah, I saw the comments
92,000 views on that one. And so many people mad, and they're like, why would we want to just watch these two idiots? Why aren't you showing it? Like, what? Learn how to just find the show. What are you talking about? I'm not going to commit fucking copyright infringement for you. You can find the show yourself.
How dare you?
This is a watch along. It says watch along in the title.
Transformative content.
Yeah. Before the South Park one, the most viewed video on the channel was Threads. Because apparently, just a bunch of British people were trying to find the movie, and it was so interesting because I could tell that they were British because the insults were very British. I was called a Muppet. Yeah, I was like, damn, this is the first time I've been called a Muppet.
That's good. That's a classic.
It's fun. Interesting.
Oh wow, man, a lot of depressing questions.
Yeah,
very dark subjects.
It's kind of been a through line of the movies in this one. War of the Worlds don't get much darker and depressing than that. Titanic, man, won't stop.
Is there a happy question?
I don't know. Yeah,
I can try and find a happy question.
Happy question.
Nothing is real here says, for Adam and Alex, what is your version of BBS?
Baby brain syndrome?
Baby brain syndrome.
What does that even mean? Like, what is your version? I don't get that.
I guess it's open to interpretation, huh?
What do you have baby brain syndrome about? Maybe we all have a baby brain.
I was thinking more just like a topic or a depiction of something that you're more inclined to be interested in or like or something.
I got horse brain syndrome.
Yeah, you got horse brain.
I got HBS.
I got dino brain.
Brain.
Dino brain, baby brain, horse brain.
I will buy most things that have Scar from The Lion King on it.
Scar brain.
That's baby brain right there.
Yeah. True. I'm a baby.
That's powerful. It's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a happy question.
That's about as happy as I could find. Sorry, guys.
Let's address the shallowness of our nostalgia for.
Yeah. Literally, all the other ones I have are like pretty heavy.
Oh.
I don't know what it was about the thread. Maybe there was something like.
Maybe you asked it in a sad way.
Yeah, maybe. I specifically asked for Normie Masterpiece questions, I'm pretty sure, in the thread. So
okay.
So I gotta say, I'm disappointed in you guys out there.
Whoa!
Update for the next thread. Okay?
Now you're making them sad.
No, I'm gonna be real. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it right down right here at the end. Yeah, sorry.
Do you know how hard it is to get Alex to be mad and disappointed at you? It's like, Jesus. Come on, guys, do better.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
All right, was that it? Are we doing one more? Or is that how we're leaving it?
No, that's it.
Okay, cool.
That's it. Actually. No more.
I'm putting my foot down.
Damn. Foot down.
Is it my rec?
I think it's your rec, yeah.
This is a bit of a risky one, I feel. Because we haven't done a movie like this, I don't think. But it's definitely one of my favorite movies. 1984's Stop Making Sense. I feel like a live performance of Talking Heads. It's kind of known as the most iconic, I guess, like live performance movie.
Nice.
I guess you guys haven't seen it?
No, but I got the Blu-ray.
Super curious. Yeah.
I like David Byrne, but I've never seen that. So
awesome.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Directed by Jonathan Demme.
Jonathan Demme.
Yeah, really interesting director, actually. We can get into that when we talk about the movie.
All right, if you don't want to be spoiled
nice.
For Stop Making Sense, watch this before the next episode comes out.
A guy wears a big suit.
Whoa! Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. These episodes come out every 2 weeks. You can listen to them early. Go to sardonicast.com, sign up for premium. Or do patreon.com/sardonicast. Or click the thing on YouTube that says join. Okay? Support the show. And if you're on the Patreon, for sure, you'll be able to vote for episode 200, we're letting you decide what movies we watch. So get on the fucking Patreon, okay? Link your Discord and all that. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Subscribe to the Sardonicast Highlights channel on YouTube as well. Yeah. Have a
happy what?
Happy 9/11.
Happy. No.
It's not making sense.
Happy Titanic.
Happy Titanic. Same thing.
Bye-bye.
That one's not offensive. Bye.
It's not.
Mate.